Previously on Sandersides.
I don't know. Maybe it's okay. Please calm down.
We do all think of people who lay down their lives for others as the greatest heroes, so I don't know.
Hey, this is me. Now, you're probably wondering, how did I get into this scenario? Well, it's a long story that started 10 years ago in 2014.
Hey kids, you can tune a piano, but you can't tune a fish.
Yup, that nerdy guy. Also me. So, how did I get from this simple, less than 6-second looping video to becoming a giant frog humanoid monster and attacking my friends? Well, I guess you could say I have a lot of explaining to do. Okay, it's serious talk time. I know that you already know exactly what this video is. You've been anticipating it, grasping at crumbs about what this video could possibly be like. Well, maybe that's an exaggeration, but you've been forced to follow the journey of this video's production from the beginning to the hopeful middle to the crash and burn of the original version to now, where I am making an definitely better version. Actually, now that I'm thinking about it, I have put more work in, I put way more work into that intro to this version than I did to, like, the first, like, maybe 20 minutes of the original one. So, yeah, this is definitely better. I've decided on a different format. Originally, I went video by video, explained it, yada yada. This time, I have a little friend to help me out, actually. And it may look quite familiar, because I made an iceberg. It was either this or a Google slideshow presentation, which I would have loved, but the iceberg only took like 10 minutes, so, you know. So these are all the important things to say about Sandersides that I could think of with my little pea brain that was rattling around, fresh off the frustration of having to delete 100 minutes worth of work. So obviously, I definitely missed some things, but this is most of it, and we're going to go one by one. So strap in. It's gonna be a bumpy ride. Alright, so unless you've been living under a pretty serious rock, you would know that Thomas's career began on the now deceased social platform Vine. And it was rough back then. It was admittedly rough back then. You saw the Vine I included in there. It's pretty rough. But what the Vines did give us is an introduction to this man, and also an introduction to 3 of the main characters in Sandersides. You have Logan, aka Teacher Guy, Patton, aka Dad Guy, and Roman, aka Princey. So these 3 characters were all originally introduced as characters in the Vines, but they didn't have names back then. Obviously, they were just the roles that they were described as. So obviously, Patton's first Vine was the one that was shown. He was shown as like a dad joke character, an excuse for all that. And then Logan was shown as the teacher character. I feel like this was pretty self-explanatory. And Roman, of course, was the prince guy, because, like, come on. And just for old time's sake, I will show both Logan and Roman's their first Vines right here.
I know just what to do, my love. She's gonna so bad, bro. Hey! Dress code.
Okay, now that you've seen those, we're going to make an important distinction right off the bat, because in the intro I said, I was making a little joke, I was like, haha, that nerdy guy, also me, which technically isn't true, because there is a distinction now between the characters that were in the Vines and the Sandersides. There is, okay, now they have outfits, like, their outfits aren't the same, so it's easier to tell when it's a Sanderside versus it's the character from the Vines. But before then, they were still different characters. So if Thomas decides to get up in one of the old outfits and make a short video, post it on Instagram, whatever, it is not Sanderside's content. It is Sanders Shorts content. It's a completely different thing now, but they did start off as the characters from the Vines. They're referenced as such a little bit early on, but after that they become like their own separate thing. However, their quote-unquote birthdays are celebrated as the first Vine that they were in. So Patton is the oldest, and then it goes Roman, and then Logan. They were introduced in the same year. They were all introduced in 2014, but Patton was introduced in January, Roman was introduced in June, and Logan was introduced in November. And then Sanderside started sometime, like, I think November-ish, 2016. I'd have to check. So yeah, that's the Vine section. So we'll now be moving on to section number 2. Whoa. Okay, so the second section in this video is titled Falsehood / Adultery. But I think that there's going to be a subsection to this because I didn't somehow, some way, I forgot to add crofters to the iceberg. So this is just going to be the general, the like mini inside jokes section of the video. I wanted to get them out of the way because like this isn't something that's going to change the lore necessarily, but just explaining the inside jokes. So starting off with Falsehood. Falsehood was introduced in the video My Negative Thinking. It was the video where Virgil and Logan are debating on various scenarios and the mindset that Thomas should have in those scenarios. And Falsehood originates from a Yo Mom joke, and then it has somehow lasted us until this point in the series. I don't remember exactly which video was the last one where it was like included, like where it was said, but it was pretty recent. So Falsehood lives. Basically the entire bit is that when people really rile Logan up and they're just making shit up and he gets upset, he yells falsehood and points. And it is a thing where people have quite literally, Thomas will like have like a mini Q&A on his Instagram story or whatever, and something that people ask him to do is to do falsehood in the Logan voice. So yeah, that's Falsehood.
I also regret starting Logan off on that whole falsehood bit. Falsehood. Falsehood. Falsehood! Falsehood. Falsehood! Falsehood! Falsehood. 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 Falsehood!
The joke I put on the same level as it is the adultery joke, and it comes from the second episode of Sandersides, because Patton doesn't understand the difference between the word adultery and the term becoming an adult, like adulthood. So he thinks that adultery is like the process of learning to become an adult.
This is so bad. I am literally failing at the process of becoming an adult, which we all know is referred to as adultery. No, that is not a correct statement. No, I thought that was a thing. It's a thing. It's just a different thing. Well, so.
So he gets that mixed up like a lot, and they're constantly having to like try to explain to him, nope, that's not right, buddy. But even though I compare this joke to Falsehood, it didn't have the same longevity. I'm pretty sure the last time that the adultry joke was made was in the part 1 for the season finale for season 1, which was literally years and years ago. So this joke did not last as long, but it feels like it lasted longer. I don't feel like it like dropped off that quick. And also people just like, they don't really make the joke anymore. They don't like ask Thomas to do the adultery bit like they ask him to do the falsehood thing. I think it died, honestly, but like it lives on forever in my heart. And now we're going to do a mini 2.5 section for the crofters joke, which started off in season 2, episode 1, the Hogwarts Houses video, where Logan says,
Okay, look, fantasy is not my jam. My jam of choice is crofters, and this video isn't even sponsored. I'm just a fan. Crofters, the only jelly I will put in my belly. What was that?
So he basically does an ad read in the middle of the video, but they're not sponsored. And then Roman says,
Yeah, I mean, I love me a good spoonful of crofters, but that was a little out of left field, Logan. What is happening? Fruit spreads aside.
And then, I'm not sure when the next crofters joke is made. I know, well, oh my god. Yeah. Yep. And then it's brought up again in the Sandersides 12 Days of Christmas video, where Logan changes the 5th day lyric to 5 crofters jams. And then there is a point where they are sponsored by crofters, and they do a partnership, make a jam based off of Logan. It's called Logan's Berry, and they do a whole musical episode about it. It's literally a musical. Like, it's a song. Almost the entire episode is a song about crofters. Crofters. It's a jam. Oh my god. And then a few years after that, they do another partnership where all 4 of the main sides get their own jams. It's an even weirder ad. I need to remind you, these 2 videos are ads, but I watch them as regularly as any of the other videos, which is weird. But I'll play a little bit of each of, like, I'll play some of this, but it's so crazy to me that one of the running gags in the fandom is about a jam, and it's basically just one huge ad for jam. The thing is, I don't think Crofters has been mentioned, like, in the last few years. I wouldn't say it died off, but, like, it just hasn't been brought up because they haven't been doing another partnership. I don't know if they will. I don't think they will unless, like, there's, like, high demand. But, like, Sandersides isn't in its, like, peak anymore, so I don't think there will be. But yeah, that's the Crofters joke, so we can finally move on after 6.5 minutes.
Logan's Berry is not only good, but it's jam-packed with goodness. Crofters jam avoids nuts, grains, and animal products, and is instead made vegan, with only processed fruit and cane sugar. Okay, wait, do you plan to use a lot of the boards for facts? Because chores. And no herbicides or pesticides are used in their jams through the process of high-performance liquid chromatography. Can you spell, like, all of that? Now, I know what you're asking. What's their environmental footprint? Now, my next 7 statistics are all in Logan. Okay, this may be a bit much. Commercials have to be, accessible to the general public. More relatable, more, long day at the office. If you're a busy parent like me, you know how hard it can be to find healthy snacks that your kids enjoy too. And you have a job and we're the same age.
Ooh, so this is the thanks I get for working overtime.
It cut my throat.
You got so much spit on that food. That's how you know it's made with love. There is no way that's true. And there are better ways to hawk products to the masses. You're tired, old man. Each time someone showed you all how it's done. Whoa, are you taking over the commercial now? That's why your camera shot's a Dutch angle? Kick it. Damn.
Radical!
Oh, what the hell? This is ridiculous! Excuse me, have you heard of Crofters' Royal Raspberry Chariot? It's a delicacy, the pinnacle of palatable, the talk of the town, fit for a king. Do you want some?
No.
Logan, wait, no! Logan, please! Try my jam! Ah, yes, the classic strategy for all successful commercials. Desperate please, please, please.
Damn, you could pretty much just call me Taylor Swift. Anyway, this section of the video really, it got on my nerves a little bit, just because I actually had to look into things for this part. When oh my god, what was I saying? The first 2 parts I really just went off of the things that I already knew, and I didn't have to look into any of the videos. I didn't have to look anything up. But names aren't something that I really think about unless it's, do I like it? So I definitely couldn't just go into this one blind. I tried already. There is a recording of me trying to do this segment with just my memory. It's not very good. I'm stumbling over my words, and I don't want to be doing that because I don't want the video to, oh my god, drag on too much. So for the first 4, I think that nobody could really explain it better than Thomas himself. And there is actually a video that has him explaining. It has him, Joan, and Talon explaining the original 4 Sandersides, their names, how they got them. So I'm just going to show that, but with a little bit of my editing flair, just because, I don't want to butcher it. I feel like the explanation that they gave, pretty good, and I couldn't do better.
Kristen asked, how did you come up with the name?
Okay, so we got Logan first because of logos.
Ethos, logos, and pathos are Aristotle's ingredients for persuasion, otherwise known as appeals. Logos is appealing to logic. We were pretty sure with Logan being the name for logic, it just made sense, using the same LOG.
Stricken with clairvoyancy, events occurred as I foreseen. Your verse was weak, your rapping stings flamboyantly, employing these trisyllabic rhymes. I can match that easily. I'll beat you every time, so you do not want beef with me, Princey. I drown out lesser MCs when I float, there's no avoiding me. Under pressure, I rise up, holler at your buoyancy. Diadems are worn on capita. I had this battle on lock like Attica. You're through, go home, Princey, pack it up. I claim to be the better bard, and I backed it up.
Logan is his favorite.
Only because of how much he talks, but there was still some questions on like what would define morality.
Morality was very much emotional appeals, so we gave him pathos.
And it worked out because also PAT, paternity, paternal, patriarch. For Princey, we decided to deviate from that.
I felt like logos and pathos works because those two are a dichotomy. Roman is based off of romanticism, which is cool because it's also linked with individual, the subjective, the irrational, the imaginative, the spontaneous, and a romantic person is someone who's like really fanciful. There was the romantic movement. A lot of romantic literary works revolve around knights.
Yeah.
You said you have them ranked.
Patent, logic, anxiety, prince. It's not the prince is bad.
I mean, he's a bit of an egoist.
I mean, I like his scream.
Oh my goodness! You guys, my scream. How's Talon? Scream alert. Oh my goodness gracious.
Sorry.
But I mean, I also get to be really extra as the prince.
I love watching you be the prince.
He also, I feel, is starting to be any bit of what people would normally classify as my femininity, like what society would deem to be feminine.
Excuse me, I am still a manly man, a man who is manly.
So the one we had the toughest time with was anxiety. We also wanted it to be different.
Yeah, I wanted it to fit with Roman somewhat.
After much searching, because I really liked a name starting with the letter V, we found Virgil. I have no idea how we stumbled upon it, but I looked up the definition.
Latin origin of unknown meaning.
Of unknown meaning, but it is theorized to be deviated from vigil.
Yes.
Vigil, vigilance, that's great.
There was a Roman poet named Virgil.
Yes.
And on top of that, that character pops up in Dante's Inferno.
Yes.
And he
As a
escorts
guide.
he escorts Dante through the underworld.
So we were like, that's the one. And it has just a little essence of a nerdy name.
That was actually
nice.
some people theorized about. I think it'll be a name he's embarrassed about.
Yes. And I liked that.
As far as I'm aware, there isn't a video out there that I could use for Remus and Janice. So I was kind of on my own with them, but I do have notes, which is good because I would have fumbled this so hard. So we're going to start with Remus. So Remus's name, it is connected to a Latin word that I did not write down for some ungodly reason. That means twin or double, which is, of course, interesting because Remus is Roman's twin in the series. And then there's also the tale of Remus and I'm going to say this wrong. I need you to know right now I'm going to say this wrong. Romulus, maybe? The Remus, of course, being the ill-fated brother who was killed because of a disagreement. So there's that. I also, I know that there is a character in Harry Potter named Remus, but that's all I know on that front, and I would have made a joke about it because there is a Harry Potter Sandersides episode, but yeah. Okay.
Harry Potter! Did you put your name in the goblet of fire?
Right? Or is that what you were quoting from, like Dumbledore from the fourth movie? Like, what was that? It was such a weird line translation from the book to the movie. No?
It was more of a Harry Potter themed idea I had just now, but that was great.
Oh, I know.
So then you get Janice, and I just think, first of all, that it's interesting that we got Remus's name revealed before we got Janice, because obviously that Janice was around for longer, so you would have thought we would have gotten his first, but we didn't. We got Remus's, like, the video he was introduced with, which isn't something that happened before or ever since, and I just think that's really cool of him. Thomas really didn't give anybody any time to theorize on Remus's name. There was a lot of theorizing, actually. I know for Janice's name before it was revealed. I wasn't there for it, but I know there's a lot of speculation for Virgil's as well. Maybe there was some for, like, Patton and Roman, because before Logan, there was no implication that they even had names, so I doubt there was any theorizing for him, but I bet there was some for the others, and I know there was a lot for Janice's, because I was around for it.
Not a fucking pedophile. I, Shane Yaw, my real name, go on record saying I am not a fucking...
But anyway, Janice is a name meaning gateway, or divine gate. Janice is also the Roman, pause for dramatic effect, god of beginnings, gates, and time, and this is really interesting because Janice's appearance in the series really marked a new beginning for it. It started off the era of the dark sides, and all of that nonsense and drama, and especially the wedding versus callback stuff, the really big arcs. Like before Janice, there weren't like many overarching storylines aside from, like, Virgil's redemption. So Janice was a new beginning for Sandersides. And you may have noticed there was a theme for Patton, Roman, Logan. They all started with A-N or O-N, and similarly, Janice and Remus both end with U-S. And there is a third thing that also ends with U-S. That has to do with Janice a little bit, that I think we should really talk about. That, of course, being Amogus.
Some of you out there have requested that I take on the game Among Us. I hear that it has a lot of deception involved in it, so I thought, why the hell not? Probably asking yourself, wow, how can Janice play with a bunch of real-life friends of Thomas's? Well, all of this isn't canon. I'm playing a character, and don't think about it too much. I'm gonna try this one more time, but it keeps rejecting the name Janice, so I guess they thought I was saying J-Anus, so I have to go with the more subpar version. Stupid. Well, I believe Darby is here. Darby?
I am in fact not here. You need to move on, Thomas.
Ooh, I like
Or
the
Janice.
deception. Very good.
Should we all have our names as real names so we can kind of keep track, or...?
No, you be Jar Jar Bink. It's not stupid at all. There aren't any murders yet, and I'm terribly bored. Literally no murders yet. I'm bored. Where are the tasks? I just want to push that button just to feel something. I'm not 3'6". Pitiful height. I'm just trying to get away from my responsibilities.
I'm going to give you a brief history of shapeshifting in Sandersides, because it was a little slow at first, but they got the hang of it eventually. If the audio sounds different in any sort of way, it's just because I'm at my grandma's house and they have wood flooring, and it's a little bit more echoey, and I'm also not trying to whisper because I'm not worried about people hearing me, because all the people are on a different level. Woo. So the first time, excuse me, ma'am. Sorry, the dog. She did a thing. The first instance of shapeshifting is in the season 1 episode, Making Some Changes, in which Thomas is feeling upset by all the changes happening in his life, the distance he is feeling from his friends lately, and Roman straight up gives him the idea, hey, you guys can shapeshift. So what happens is they shapeshift, the 4 sides, they shapeshift into 4 of Thomas's friends, Joan and Talon, who you've already seen earlier in the video, and then Terrence and Valerie. And they kind of switch them around a little bit and trying to find like the perfect fit, but then they realize, hey, this isn't going to work because we are just singular facets of your personality, and these are complex individuals. It's not going to work. But here are the things you can do to help the loneliness you might feel. The next time they shapeshift is in the Can Lying Be Good video, and this is where they really, excuse me, this is where they really picked up on shapeshifting as a concept for what it is in the universe, because this was also the video that Deceit was introduced. So it begins with Roman shapeshifting into Joan, and then acting out a few scenarios with Thomas as Joan.
Oh! No effing way, dude! Who broke this vase? Who broke this vase? Seriously, guys, everyone who's here at my awesome party, this huge crowd of people that's definitely here right now, somebody broke my grandma's vase. And that was the last thing she gave to me before she died. I swear to all things football and or skateboarding that I will find you. Don't make me cry these incredibly manly tears. Anyone can speak up here and be a part of the scene. Especially those of us who aren't imagined and are actually here on the stage. Like not the people who are imagined to be here through means of suspension of disbelief.
I do not understand theater.
Very well, I shall continue searching for the culprit in the next room. Stephanie, you want to bake some cookies?
And of course, Janice is revealed to have been shapeshifting as Patton and pretending to be him the entire video. Then the next time we see shapeshifting is, in fact, the learning new things about ourselves video, in which they turn into puppets, which is a little bit different than what it's been used for before, but they're puppets now. They be puppets. They be puppets. They be puppets. They do their own thing. And then in the first selfishness versus selflessness video, Janice pretends to be Logan for like 5 seconds before they clock him immediately, and they're like, hey man, that's not cool, and also you're really bad at this.
Deceit. Lies! Yes, definitely.
I'm trying to remember if there's any shapeshifting in the Intrusive Thoughts video. Yeah, because Remus transforms himself into Joan. They really like doing Joan a lot. Because obviously Joan is a co-writer, very big part of the series at the time, so had a lot of involvement in it, so Joan was the primary candidate, you could say, for this kind of thing. So I know that is one of the instances, but I don't necessarily think there's anything else. And then in the second Selfishness versus Selflessness video, we get more Janice as Logan. We get Patton shapeshifting it into, you know, giant frog monster. Remember that from the start of the video? Yeah, still haven't explained that, have I? But, yeah, so that's that. And then Janice does some more shapeshifting into Patton in the 5-year anniversary video. There's a short where Thomas's godson Gavin plays all the sides, but I think that's a different thing than the sides shapeshifting as Gavin. There's a plushie video where they are plushies. I like to think of it as similar to the puppet video, but not really, because the plushie video was made to sell plushies. The puppet video was made just for fun. I've literally only watched the plushie video like twice. And then the Janice's Get Ready With Me video that was posted a month ago. Technically, I think that's him. He said it was him in his Thomas disguise, so I don't know. But that was like the last instance of it that I can recount. I literally looked at the videos as I was listing them off. Something that I didn't put on Iceberg that is kind of adjacent to the shapeshifting is conjuring other people, which happened even earlier than the shapeshifting in the Valentine's Day video, where Thomas himself conjures like a fake version of his friend Valerie for the sides to practice flirting with, and then they do it. They do it in the Intrusive Thoughts video. I know. Remus conjures up fake Mark Ruffalo and Reese Witherspoon. It's a whole thing with that video.
We're going to talk about something else now, okay? Patton, what are we talking about?
2005's Just Like Heaven, starring Mark Ruffalo and Reese Witherspoon?
Sure.
Oh, great flick. I'm really out of it. Uh-oh, I'm here with the main characters from Just Like Heaven, David Abbott and Elizabeth Masterson, and I can do with them as I please. No, not David Abbott and Elizabeth Masterson!
You bastard. Okay, you can't pretend that that isn't happening.
I'm about to smash the whole...
And then in the second part of Selfishness versus Selflessness, Patton conjures up no, it's actually Leslie Odom Jr. He conjures up Leslie Odom Jr., and we'll talk about that a little bit later. And then Remus in the Working Through Intrusive Thoughts video, he conjures a version of Thomas's love interest, Nico, to scare Thomas into thinking that it isn't going to work out.
Hey, Thomas.
And then I think that's the last time it happens. Yeah, I'm going to call that the last time that happens. So those are those two things. Very fun. Very cool.
There. So now I can be comforted with the presence of my friends wherever I...
Look at this!
What? How are you doing that?
I just walked over here. Why haven't we thought to do this before?
Time out. You don't see me or anyone else making puns about our names, so...
You're right. High five.
We're across...
Down low.
Again. Logan. Oh, Logan. Oh, I hate it.
He looks like a wet bandit from Home Alone.
Oh, wait, you're Bandit. That doesn't make sense.
Look just like them. Would it help if we attempted to behave like them? Hello, my name is Talon. I'm short and unthreatening.
Real cute. I want to pinch your cheeks, but not quite Talon.
Cat. Vedelmike. 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 Cat. Vedelmike. Viking battle. Okay. Cat. No. Cat. Vedelmike.
Viking metal.
Viking metal. Monomarth. Viking metal. Cat's Vedelmike and Vibe. Vedelmike. Cat. Metal Viking. Vomit.
Is it metal?
I didn't even know it. Cat. Vedelmike. Okay, go.
This is the thing you enjoy, Talon.
I know. Cats. Viking metal. Vomit.
Well, now you're just naming things that Talon enjoys.
That raises so many more questions.
El príncipe es estúpido.
What?
It is my understanding that you speak Spanish, so I really wanted to help you get it through your thick, self-aggrandizing skull in both languages. You are vapid and slow-witted.
Wow, that was a wounding remark. I thought we agreed to work as a team on this one. Besides, I learned Spanish first, so who's the stupid one now?
Still you.
Change is unavoidable.
You just need to keep the change. Uh-oh, I just littered those pennies. Hope the coppers don't come after me.
Why did you switch with me?
It was the last combo.
Okay, you got it.
That'd happen.
Yep.
I'm frail. Unbreakable.
My name.
It's Talon.
Okay. That is upsetting. Well, wait, is it Talon? No.
Alright, this next section is just a quick one that I wanted to get out of the way. The onesies, they were introduced in the Mind versus the Heart video, where Patton rises up and he's in a cat onesie, and Thomas is like, oh, okay. And then he makes Logan come up, and Logan is in a unicorn onesie, and Thomas is kind of like, you? Really? You too? And I think the funniest thing about this appearance of the onesies is that Patton is wearing his cardigan over it, and Logan is wearing his tie over his, which is, I think, is hilarious. That's really cute. And then they make another appearance in the Hogwarts Houses video after they switch to their new outfits. Patton has the onesie tied around his shoulders instead of his cardigan, and Logan tells him to take it off because it's not practical. And then in the nostalgia videos immediately after that, Patton once again has the onesie on, and Logan again tells him to take it off. And then at the end of the second part of the movie videos, Logan instead offers him a cat hoodie.
And, a little compromise, Patton? As much as it pains me, sometimes, when the heart wants change, you must listen to it. Is this appealing to you at all? Logan, is that a cat hoodie? I thought this might be less cumbersome while still catering to your, eccentric standards.
Dude, you got me a gift! Oh my goodness, I love it!
It even has a front pouch to place an actual cat, if you so desire. Oh, I can't, I'm allergic. Then why?
So that it wouldn't be so heavy or as distracting, and look a little bit more similar to his cardigan. Then, after that, the onesies appear in the first Sanders Decides video, Are There Healthy Distractions, in which all of the sides, the four of them, they all have onesies. Virgil's being a little skeleton. I'm pretty sure it is a reference to Gerard Way, something Gerard Way wore. I'm sorry, the dog just jumped on me. And Roman is wearing a Beast of Beauty and the Beast one. In this video, it's important to note that Logan is not wearing his unicorn onesie. He says that he's outgrown it. But then, during the end card, he puts it on and is like, I'm so sorry, I abandoned you. After that, we don't see the onesies again for a little while, until the most recent Incorrect Quotes video, Volume 4, that just came out literally 3 days ago as I'm recording this, in which in the end card, Logan comes out, and I think it's...
You're still here? It's over. Go home. Go.
So he does that, and as he's walking away from the camera, we make a realization. The fandom has a collective realization that it's not just a unicorn onesie, it's an alicorn onesie, which is amazing, because we have known of this onesie's existence since 2017, and we didn't know until 3 days ago that it was an alicorn onesie, and I think that's beautiful. It's beautiful, and I hope I see the onesies, like any of them. I will take any of them. Oh wait, oh my god, also in the most recent Incorrect Quotes video, Roman also wears his again, in one of the Incorrect Quotes. I forgot about that. Oh my god. But I would take seeing any of them again. I think they're cute, okay? I like them. I think it's nice for continuity. But yeah, this was just a little easier segment for me, because I've been talking a lot. But anyway, that was that.
First, we'll need someone to practice on. But who? Each other? No. Now, I know we're all about to get into some big, confusing discussion, but there is no need to overcomplicate things. I have the solution. The trick to getting a date is to just be completely upfront and honest. All right? Hello.
Hello.
We are humans.
Yes.
As humans, one possible objective is to procreate.
Yes.
Therefore, would you like to copulate with me?
Yes.
There. Done. Seriously? Yes, and then you continue to talk until eventual marriage and/or copulation. That's the process. Yeah, if your life is a Sims game, that's ridiculous. This is what it would be like if your life is a Sims game. Eyo, zip it to plar.
Mipso, globe.
Wapso, saplo plano. Stop it, stop. If you went about trying to get a date that way, it would look like this. Hello, do you like food?
Yeah.
Do you like romantic outings?
I mean, sometimes.
I can provide both of those things. Therefore, you will be my date.
I mean, go.
Just saying. Yeah. Your problem is you didn't woo her with any gusto. You know what people like. Bagels! No, what? Maybe.
Many months later.
Well, what do we get? Sometimes just this. A bagel? What? No, maybe. No, nothing. It's nothing. Aww. Poetry. Poetry? Allow me to recite Shakespeare's sonnet 138. When my love swears to me that she is made of truth, I do believe her, though I know she lies, that she might think me some untutored youth. Gonna stop you right there. That sonnet is about an older man and an unfaithful girl lying to preserve their relationship. Oh, yeah. So, might I recommend Shakespeare? You need to say what's in your heart. Come on. If you do that, you could get all tongue-tied, jumbled, confused. Well, then you write it all down beforehand in a letter. Dear Valerie, happy Valentine's Day. Wow, that didn't come off quite as well as I would have liked it to. Maybe not one of my best jokes. He wrote this down here, but I would like to ask, how do I put this? I would like to speak from the heart, but hearts don't have mouths. Well, that was a little weird to say. Okay, I think that was a bit of a failed experiment. Fine, no words. No. What if that were a stranger? You can't just touch people. Okay, then you create a gift to give them. A drawing! Here you go. But that could be just taken as a gift from a friend.
Wow, thanks!
Or worse.
Wow, this is horrible. I never realized how stupid and untalented you are.
Well, I'm hopelessly credible. Not talk about me. You there, young maiden! What is burdening your life? Perhaps an evil stepmother or a dragon witch? A dragon witch?
Yes, this dragon witch has been ruining my life!
You, Valerie.
That's probably the best thing to keep in mind. Morality, can you leave Valerie alone for a second? And as for self-love, you guys, the different aspects of my personality, I suggest you all say I love you to each other. I love you all so much! I love you. If I could give you all butterfly kisses, do you know what those are? With the eyelashes? I love you. You make my life complete. Your existence is inconsequential. I mean, unimportant. I mean, good.
Eventually.
Virgil, what do IDK, LY, and TTYL mean? I don't know. Love you. Talk to you later. Okay. I love you too. I'll just ask Roman. Wait, what can I say? You're all so handsome. Well, that does make sense. Just not as handsome as me. That does not make sense. Well, you two have glasses, you know, like nerds. What are you laughing at, Hot Topic? Oh, you think I'm hot. Princey, tell us you love us. No. I love you. I don't know how you expect me to say it. You all took turns. Now you're all looking at me. Come on. Can it just be like an understood thing? You're implying that you love us? No. Look, his face is so red behind that white foundation. I hate everything about this. Honestly, my way would have totally worked, you guys. Totally would not have. You think you can do better? Better than that? Well, then you get a chance. Fine. First you take her by the hand, then you... Oh my god! Nice one. What'd I do? Oh, okay. You know, can I be honest about something? I know we've all moved past it, but that time when we were still pretending to be straight and you all were flirting with a fake Valerie still haunts me. Well, I think that I was going for more like a sexually ambiguous. It wasn't that bad. Right? Not our most feminist moment. I thought about it every day. Okay.
Okay, so the next part is the dark sides. And the dark sides is a term that was coined by Roman in the Can Lying Be Good video, originally to describe Janus and his quote-unquote friends.
One more question. Are there any other sides that deceit has hidden away from me? Yes, the dark sides. Well, that's not the answer that I wanted, in full honesty. I made that name up. It's pretty cool, right? Nice and foreboding, thank you.
And now what we do know about who exactly the dark sides are is that it includes Janus.
Who's she? Never heard of her.
Remus.
Jeffrey Dahmer! Stop!
And Virgil, as well as the theorized orange side. And I don't really know if, like, the orange... I think at this point the orange side is pretty real. Like, there's no denying that it's real. Like, Thomas has hinted that it is a thing that is real and would therefore complete the little rainbow we got going on. But we do not know yet what the orange side represents or who he is. We've just seen little glimpses. I think the most popular theory is that the orange side represents rage, which is why Logan's eyes turned orange when he was yelling at Remus in this clip that I'm so excited to show you and screen record and have to watch because I cringe and die a little inside every time I see it, but here.
I just want to help Thomas become the best version of himself he can be, and in order to do that, he needs to listen to me. Unlike yours, my methods aren't the flashiest, and it's not very often I get the chance to get through to him. Please understand my insistence on the matter. Remus? Remus!
I'm gonna say my angry word.
Stop ignoring me! Hey! Hoo-wee, Logan. Now you're speaking my language. But who do you really want to scream that at?
Okay, so the thing about the dark sides is giving them that name is what made them seem like a negative thing in the first place. But part of season 2 of Sanders Side so far has been exploring the idea that the dark sides are not necessarily evil. They are just parts of Thomas that he hasn't explored and is on the road towards accepting as a part of himself, much like he did with Virgil in season 1. So obviously the two-parter selfishness versus selflessness, that was about accepting Janice and deceit as a part of Thomas's personality. It hasn't quite happened with Remus, I don't think, unless you consider the Asides episodes where they're hanging out together, but I don't think he's yet been accepted. Another thing to take into consideration with the dark sides is that Thomas didn't even realize that Virgil was one of them at first, until the end of dealing with intrusive thoughts, when he outright admits it.
I'm a little disappointed in myself. I thought that I would be able to protect you from them.
The dark sides?
The others. I thought I knew how to handle them.
Oh, well, I think we're all trying to figure them out for now. It'll take some time to figure everything out.
Yeah, but I should know better.
Isn't that kind of unfair? Why should you be held to a different standard than any other side?
Because I was one of them.
Which adds a bit of a more interesting dynamic there, because Virgil was originally one of them, was Janice and Remus's friend, I guess, if you could call him that, and then kind of betrayed them to be accepted as a part of the light sides in their little group. So, yeah, I don't really know what else to say on this topic, except for the fact, well, no, that's actually it. It does go hand in hand with some of the other stuff on this level of the iceberg. I just wanted to give an actual explanation to what the dark sides are, and which sides that they encompass, but that was probably obvious. I don't know, I'm in the iceberg, like, in the beginning before I even started recording, so I don't, you know how it is. Okay, never mind, I'm back. I just realized there is another thing that I should probably talk about with this part, and it is the theory that Logan could possibly, potentially become a dark side as he continues to not be listened to. And I don't know how likely that is. I don't know if that would happen, if that's more likely to happen rather than Logan just getting an arc where he just becomes listened to without becoming a dark side. But I also, I really like the theory that, well, not necessarily the theory, because of, again, the "Stop ignoring me" clip, that the orange side is just another part of Logan. Like, they are like two sides of the same coin. He's just, that working through intrusive thoughts video, I don't know if that helped us or if it held us back as a fandom, just because it came about right before the Great Drought, because that was one of really the last actual, like, videos we got. Even though it is labeled as an Asides video, I think most of the fandom has agreed that this is canon, and it helps the timeline, unlike the other Asides videos. So yeah, that was just one thing I wanted to add on before we moved on. Yay! You know what? Fuck you. I had an entire 18-minute segment talking just about the Sanders Asides videos. But you know what? I don't want to do that. I don't want to edit down an 18-minute clip of me talking. Because I already have other similarly lengthy clips of me talking that I'll have to edit down, and I just really don't want to do that many of them. So this one, I have chosen to shorten. But first, I'm just going to briefly, just one sentence, explain that Sanders Asides contains stuff that isn't necessarily canon to the main plotline of Sanders Sides. Sanders Sides is what is canon to the main plotline. Sanders Asides could be canon, but not really in the same, like, timeline, you know? Like, they wouldn't be hanging out with Janice and Remus all chill, like, in the main timeline. Because trauma. But anyway, so I've decided to shorten this down by having it be one sentence that I think sums up every single Sanders Asides video based on which ones are on the playlist. And this is going to include the fucking Working Through Intrusive Thoughts video, despite the fact that apparently Thomas has said that the video was mislabeled upon release and is actually canon. Whatever. Here's that.
I just think we should all just try to relax.
You do realize who you're talking to, right?
All right, off to a bad start. Completely wrong direction. Oh. Radical!
Oh, they grow up so fast. After 32 long years.
And I shall be learning to better receive acceptance and praise.
Wow, Remus, that actually sounds really healthy and productive.
Thank you. Acceptance and praise are the names of my vibrators.
Okay.
Right.
How is it we've had so many of these visits and you still know so little about me?
Because you don't tell me anything.
You're right, I don't.
Like you've developed quite the system for compartmentalizing facets of your personality.
You're making me sound smarter than I actually am.
No, I didn't say it was smart.
Okay, good then.
And they lived happily ever after. For now.
I've been bringing up during number 2's Thomas needs to be constantly checking underneath him in case a snake, spider, or rat has made its way through the plumbing and into the toilet bowl.
Ah, gross.
It is gross. It's very gross.
And terrifying.
So are we gonna do that?
No, we are not doing that, Fearness!
All right, join and cheese.
And for added measure, I replaced Andrew Jackson's face with your face, because f*** that asshole.
Oh, can we? for Christmas?
Another question came in. What gives you the ick? An important aspect to being oneself, in addition to knowing what you like, is knowing what you don't like, and saying to that thing, ew, get away from me. I don't like you. Roman.
It's time. Time, of course, meaning it's time to talk about more satyr sides. So, just real quick, I wanted to talk about what the fandom affectionately refers to as the Creativitwins. That, of course, meaning Roman and Remus, who kind of defied what the fandom thought they knew about these characters. Of course, they are all facets of the same guy's personality, so they were all similar to that extent. But when you watch the Dealing with Intrusive Thoughts video and you hear them say out loud that Remus is Roman's twin, that automatically changes things. Because what do you mean? What do you mean that in this universe where they're all part of one person, these two are brothers? These two are actually brothers. And I just think that's so interesting because it's really the first time that any of them have had an established familial dynamic that the fandom can't really do anything about. Like, when I sit here and I go, you can't ship Virgil and Patton, there's father and son. That doesn't really stop anybody from doing it because it's not as real as you can't ship Roman and Remus because they're brothers. When I say that, you can't ship them. You can't. They're brothers. That's wrong. That's weird. But if I'm just sitting there going, you can't ship Patton and Virgil, I mean, you can. I'm gonna think you're a weirdo for it, but you can. I also just wanted to talk about why Roman and Remus are considered, well, why they are brothers. So the tale goes that when Thomas was very young, he did actually only have one creativity. But as he grew older and his views were changed, those versions, that creativity split into two. Roman being the acceptable version of creativity, Remus being the forbidden version, the bad thoughts. And we'll get into the Catholic guilt later, but that does have a lot to do with it. It's his upbringing and what has been instilled in him to be seen as positive versus negative ways of thinking is what separated Roman and Remus. It's also worth noting that Roman sees Remus as the version of himself that he doesn't want to be, because like Thomas, he has been told that Remus's version of creativity is bad. But Roman's good. He is a good force. He can't do no wrong. He's the good one.
So, you have a brother? Yeah. It's a little like looking into a funhouse mirror, but instead of a giant head or like long legs and a tiny torso, it shows you everything you don't want to be. That doesn't sound like a very fun house. Yeah. But whatever, you know? He's gone now and he's never coming back. Oh, I don't think that's... Bye! So, there's a lot of stuff to be said about them and how this may have affected Remus as a character, not just as a form of creativity, but as a character with thoughts and feelings. Yeah, I just think it's really interesting that in a series where they're all a part of one person already, two of them are inherently closer than the others. That was really interesting. I didn't know he could do that. So, yeah. I resent that. Ghosts aren't evil. They just scare people because you never know when they're gonna show up. Okay, I take back what I said about ghosts. Ah! You killed him! Oh, hell yeah, you got my nickname down there? You know, you should add Pissy to Roman so we can match. You know, like Princey. Classic. What is that? That was Remus. That mother-loving, mustachioed mudbug! Excuse me a moment, I have to go healthily communicate my feelings with my brother. Oh, what? I'd say...
Hey, broho! I'm super sorry about eating that last slice of red velvet cake you were saving in the fridge.
Oh, that's all right. My brother, I am also so sorry for punching you in the face.
Absolutely! Apology accept... Wait, when was the last time you hit me? You know what? I deserve that.
Any shaving cream?
No, I don't like the way that it tastes.
Will you eat shaving cream?
No. Why would I eat it if I don't like the way that it tastes? Hey!
Well, look where the check yet. Hey.
What's up, bro?
Hi. Look at his...
What are you doing? I'm trying to fit my entire fist in my mouth.
Can you not?
That's why I'm practicing!
Well then, shut up. What did Virgil say about my 12 Days of Christmas rewrite? This is about the bubblegum shrimp thing, isn't it? Look, the muse doesn't always come to visit. I can't be expected to pump out metaphors and similes like some simile-making thing. See? The shrimp line was a last-minute addition, and I have no clue where it came from. Oh yeah, I whispered that to him in his sleep. You read my diary?
Well, at first I didn't know it was your diary. I just thought it was a sad, handwritten book.
A Thomas sandwich. Hold the Roman lettuce. You should really make that the usual because Roman will make you sick. And yet, as soon as I was removed from the picture, Thomas had a dookie problem. Thomas already made a dookie joke. Bye! Don't like him.
So are we gonna do that?
No, we are not doing that, Fairness.
All right, Joyman, jeez. More like kill Joyman, am I right?
Yeah, that's accurate.
Really?
You know, not every problem
can be solved with a sword. That's why I carry 2 swords. No.
I am just staring at the number, like the time, for the Sanders Aside segment of this video, and if I don't significantly trim that section down, then, oh my god. Anyway, this next section of the video is just specifically talking about the character who is my favorite in all of Sanders Sides. My favorite. Roman. He's my favorite. I do play favorites, actually, and he's mine. So, okay, first of all, I think, if I remember, I'm going to add my ranking of all the characters at the end, because I think mine might be a little bit controversial in the fandom, but I don't know, maybe, we'll see. But, anyway, so this segment is specifically to talk about the insecurity. Ooh, I just touched a bag of chips. The insecurity that Roman, faces in Sanders Sides, and why. So, obviously, I think the first episode this is, like, brought up in is the Am I Original video, and the entire concept of that video is Roman trying to create a video idea that is completely new, never done before, and he just cycles through a bunch of different ideas that very obviously have been done before, like Let's Plays, reaction videos, rap battles, if you remember that from earlier, and they have to kind of, like, help him realize you can't create a fully original video. That's not possible in this day and age. You can't have, like, a fully original idea at this point. And he's kind of like, well, if I can't create something fully unique, then why am I even trying? Kind of. That's, like, kind of how he is. But, you know, the situation is solved at that point. And then it is, again, just briefly mentioned in the part 2 to the season finale, the Accepting Anxiety video, just in an offhanded comment.
When did you apply eyeshadow? I didn't. But does it look okay because the princess got to slay? Of course it looks good. Why would you think it wouldn't? Do you have self-esteem issues? Am I asking too many questions?
And it's kind of just brushed off, but, like, yes, he sure does, doesn't he? And then you really don't get a lot of that, but in the 12 Days of Christmas episode, he feels, like, particularly bad because the final line, the bubblegum shrimp, he's like, well, you can't expect me to write something completely, like, perfect and awesome, like, I have a lot going on, how dare you, so it's kind of that, and also he just feels really bad because, like, they were like, making fun of him kind of hard when they were saying that, like, they were really getting on his nerves, and just, like, and I kind of get that, like, if you do something that, like, you're really happy about, you're really proud of yourself for doing that, and then, like, you try to get everyone else to do it with you, and they just do not play along, that's really frustrating. Like, I feel like if I had been running that situation, and I had written a version of 12 Days of Christmas that is completely unique to me and my little group of friends, and they're just, like, making, like, a mockery of it the entire time, yeah, I'm gonna be mad. Like, I'm not gonna fault, like, Virgil for not wanting to sing his line, because it's stupid, but at the same time, you know. And then, really where it picks up the most starts in Selfishness versus Selflessness, where he just, like, cannot catch a break. He cannot catch a break, because the main conflict of Selfishness versus Selflessness, and we'll get into this later, is, should Thomas go to his friend's wedding, which happens to be the same day as a really huge, like, callback for a big opportunity, like, acting-wise, to work with a great director that he has looked up to for a long time, or should he go to the callback and skip his friend's wedding? And if he does go to the callback, how does he go about that with his friends? Does he lie or tell the truth? Obviously, Janice has a lot to do with this episode. This is really Janice's big break when you think about it. So he's also, like, the one who's like, you know, if you just tell your friends, like, what's going on, like, if you just talk to them, I'm sure, like, they would understand why you would miss their wedding. But everyone just kind of makes it seem like he was the bad guy in that situation, and he's really not. Like, he wasn't sitting there going, lie right now, screw your friends. He didn't say that. He was kind of played, honestly.
I mean, things come up, you know? If Thomas and Aunt Patty were in the hospital, then he would get a free pass to miss the wedding. Why should it be any different when something good comes up? Are you seriously siding with deceit? Are you seriously so close-minded to think that everything said by someone you don't like is automatically untrue? This is a big deal for Thomas. Maybe Mary and Lee will understand. It's actually Mary Lee and Lee, not confusing at all. Roman, this is their big day. We have to be there for them. We don't have to do anything. But if you think they'd be cross about your absence, I didn't mind Roman's little Aunt Patty in the hospital excuse. Oh, I mean, I wasn't. No, lying is already bad enough. Lying to a friend is out of the question. But what about us? What about us? Wow, guys, it's so cool how you never listen to Roman. Why is he still here? Why am I still here? Wow. I meant to see. Whose underwear is this? I mean, it's not really hurting my friends if they think I'm gone for a better reason. Not hurting them. Better reason? Hitchcock Lucas, director of Psycho Godfather Wars. What is this wacky talk? You don't mean any of this. I'm your morality. I wouldn't be here if you did. Right. You're right. I don't mean that. And Roman, I thought you fought for honor. Why are you pushing Thomas to be dishonest? Yeesh. I would stay in my room if my dad was going to take us on a guilt trip.
And then in the end of that episode, he was the one who decided, you know what, Thomas's friends are very important to him. It's important to Patton that he, like, does this for his friends. So, you know what? And also, a big thing is that he doesn't want Janice to win, because Janice's entire thing in that video was, I'm going to get Thomas to lie to his friends, and then he's going to go to the callback and not the wedding. But Roman's like, no, Janice isn't going to win this one. Thomas, you're going to the wedding. And Janice is like, But then in the part 2 to the video, it's a lot of he regrets making Thomas go, because, like, his friends didn't even talk to him. Like, they had, like, one little conversation, and it's just, like, it's this realization of, you know, if we hadn't gone, would they have even, like, missed us being there? And then it's just really, like, because everyone after that point, like, Thomas at that point is like, well, I'm sure if I just talked to them beforehand, they would have understood. Yeah, that's what he was saying in the first place. And Patton's like, yeah, but you can't really know that. Like, hindsight is 20/20. And Roman's like, So yeah, like I said, Selfishness versus Selflessness Part 2. For a long time I did think that that was the last Sanders Sides video, but apparently working through Intrusive Thoughts, which was one of the videos that was like almost right after it, that's actually the last Sanders Sides video that we got. It was apparently just mislabeled in production and when it was first released, so that's nice. The biggest factor towards Roman's insecurity is, of course, what I talked about in the last segment with the twins. The fact that he sees his brother as bad and evil, and he doesn't want to be like him. But Janice says something in the Part 2 to Selfishness versus Selflessness that definitely doesn't help things.
Janice? What are you, a middle school librarian? It's a stupid name. Oh, Roman, thank God you don't have a mustache. Otherwise, between you and Remus, I would know who the evil twin is. Are you guys seriously going to take his side? No, over me? Thomas. I thought I was your hero. You are. Wow. I can't believe this. Did you forget that he's evil? You're not. Or you're not supposed to be. You're supposed to be good. You can't. Roman, everything's gonna be okay, kiddo. We love you. Right.
Yeah. Roman is like, I just really like him, like, character-wise, because he is like arguably he's the character with the most black and white thinking. He just like, he's just so interesting. They're all interesting in their own rights, but I just love him. And also it's like, it's like weird to think that he was not present for obviously dealing with intrusive thoughts. He was not there when Logan showed everybody else that no, Remus is not scary. He cannot hurt you. But you guys, as in Virgil and Patton, you guys having such a knee-jerk reaction to him is really what's doing a lot of harm. Intrusive thoughts like can be like are a normal thing, and treating them like something that should be like pushed out and forbidden and all that, it doesn't help. Roman was not present for that conversation because he got hit over the fucking head. So he wasn't there when everyone else decided, you know what, we should not be treating Remus like a villain because that just makes things worse. So he continues to treat Remus like the villain. And nobody told him. Nobody gave him that memo. He doesn't know. But he will continue to be the one who is like treated poorly because he doesn't know that. They just never told him. Like, just imagine, like, being Roman, or even being Virgil. And these people, Janice and Remus, who you have been told for so long are bad, need to be hidden, are the dark sides. All of a sudden, the people that you look up to, mainly Patton, just suddenly accept them. And like, I'm not saying Patton's wrong, but that must sting. Yeah, I think I've talked about this for too long. But yeah, oh my god. I feel like a show like this should not have this much lore. I'm being so real with you. Anyway, I'm gonna move on, for my sake. So the thing is, I knew I wanted to wait to record this part until after the cartoon therapy, well, I guess not even cartoon therapy because they didn't even talk about cartoons, it just had Bacani in it. But the therapy video with Thomas, his sleeping habits, and Emil Bacani, I wanted to wait until that video came out to talk about the character of sleep. But then I realized that video literally has nothing to offer in this conversation that wasn't there before. I thought there was going to be something amazing that came out of it. It was just a video, so I'm going to talk about it. So the reason why Sleep Sanders is even on this iceberg is because there seems to be a misconception here. Well, with the fandom, at least when I was first originally in it, around 2019, 2020, there was a certain crowd of Thomas Sanders fans, more particularly Sandersides fans, who saw Sleep, who is a character only seen in the Sanders shorts, and now, obviously, this one channel video that was just released. But a certain subsection of the fans thought that Sleep should become a Sanderside, and he's not. He's not a Sanderside. He's just a character for the shorts, much like the character of Anxiety, or the character of Dad, or the character of the teacher guy. He's in that subsection. But the thing that's unique about Sleep as a character, in comparison to other characters from the shorts, like The Printer, or Certain Months, or whatever else Thomas has done a short about, is that we've sort of adopted this character, and he has become as important in fan creation, such as fanfiction, drawings, whatever, as named characters, like Virgil, Patton, Roman, Logan, Emil Bacani of cartoon therapy fame. We've adopted him. He is one of the big boys now. And we actually did give him a name. His name is Remy, and because Dr. Bacani was named after Emil from Ratatouille, we decided as a fandom, well, I say we as if I had anything to do with it, I didn't, but we named Sleep after Remy from Ratatouille. And the thing about that is, it has never been in like an official Sleep video. He has never been called Remy, but Thomas has acknowledged, I don't know what video it is, but I know he has acknowledged at some point that we call the character Remy. And I think that's enough for us to be like, yep, that's Remy, that's our boy Remy right there. But yeah, there's a point where some people in the fan base were wanting Remy to be a side, and Thomas said no, and we were like, okay. But in some fanfiction, maybe some fan art, there is depiction of Remy as a partner to one of the sides, or even a sibling. I know there's a lot of, like, one of them, like, I think it's pretty popular for people to make Remy Virgil's sibling in fanfic. And then another popular thing that people like to do is to ship him with Dr. Bacani from cartoon therapy. I personally subscribed to it, even though they never interacted until the video that just came out like 3 days ago. But that's neither here nor there. I love Remy. I love Remy. I tried to cosplay him in 7th grade, and it didn't end well. I had a pair of sunglasses that I used for it, and I brought them to school, and I put them in my pencil bag, and they broke. And I was like, well, this is fine. It's okay that the lenses fell out. I can just use them as like fake glasses, or glasses wearing character. And then I realized that one of the arms of the glasses also broke, so I couldn't even do that. It was chill. It was chill. I also got a little bit made fun of, but that's fine. Yeah, so that's a Remy. Remy, the ratatouille, the rat of all my dreams. I praise you, the ratatouille. Oh, I'm sorry. Just one last thing though, I did want to mention. There are people in the comment section of the video with Remy and Thomas and Bakani in the comments of that video, referring to the anxiety character that is also in that video a little bit as Virgil. They're like, oh my god, it's season 1 Virgil. No way. I thought Virgil would be in this, but I didn't realize it'd be season 1. What the heck? You guys don't understand. I know more than you. I know more than you. I never thought I'd see the day where I was a standard-sized fandom veteran, but here we are. Yikes.
Taco Bell, bitch.
On the off chance that your name is Thomas Sanders and you are watching this video, this is your sign to skip the segment, because you don't have to, go away, go away, go away, go away. So obviously shipping is something that happens with every fandom, every single one. You can't escape it no matter what. And while I personally don't see anything wrong with shipping in the Sanders fandom, there is a certain strangeness that people, especially those outside of the fandom, see with it. And I get it. They're all parts of one guy, but like, they all got their own unique personalities. They all got their own unique little designs and little names, and they can hold hands and maybe even kiss even. I don't know. God. All I'm saying is that if Thomas can make a few little... Oh my god, my phone almost dropped. If Thomas can make a few silly little jokes earlier on in the series about them holding hands and stuff, then I see nothing wrong with us being like tee-hee, kicking our feet giggling over little fanfic and little fan art. Like, I don't see the problem with it. I think it's fun. And I think anyone who doesn't think it's fun and is especially a hater about it can back the fuck off, because have you never been in a fandom ever before in your life? God. However, but with all things in moderation, like obviously I'm not standing here petitioning for any of these ships to become canon. I don't want that. That would look gross. Insert this one picture of Danny Gonzalez I have of him green screen kissing himself. Yeah, that's what it would look like, and I don't want to see that. I don't want to see that. But if in a perfect world where that wouldn't be the case, and somehow it was able to not look strange, there are some that I would recommend. You just take a little look-see at. I'm not gonna explicitly share my opinions on what ships I like, but I do have opinions. I have a lot of opinions, in fact, especially when it comes to 2 ships in particular that are kind of this. I don't like them for the same reason, but different levels. I sort of talked about it in the Creativitwins section. Rem. Wee. Bad. Terrible things are happening in the fandom. Ugh. God. How is it that we can get a series where like only 2 of the characters are actually related, and people still want to ship those characters? The hell? What is wrong with you? You can ship any other characters. I literally will not care. So why did you have to choose them? Answer quickly. The other one I just don't like is Moxiety. I know that they don't have like an actual like familial relation the same way that Roman and Remus do, but I feel like it's been like referenced, like the imagery has been there too much of Patton being Virgil's dad for me to actually like want that to be a thing. I don't know.
Made that pretty clear anytime I showed up. What? Except you, Patton. You're a funny guy. I love my dark strange son. I know that face. My child is returning. Like confronting his feelings, which is what I was saying. Thank you, you shadowy but angelic songbird. You got it, pop star. You gave me a dad-themed nickname.
If you're a busy parent like me, you know how hard it can be to find healthy snacks that your kids enjoy too. Patton, you don't have a job and we're the same age.
Like, it's just too weird, like those jokes have never been made like really with any of the other characters. Like they've called like Logan the mom like vaguely, but it was never like he's this character's mom. With Patton and Virgil, it was always Patton is like Virgil's dad, and now I can't see it any other way. Like that is Virgil's dad, even if they have become estranged recently. R.I.P. But I think any other ship is really free range. You can do whatever you want. I don't care. Just don't be weird about it. I feel the same way kind of about Patton and Roman to an extent, but not like even close to as much as I feel about that. Like with Moxiety, I just cannot. I cannot. And I'm not gonna be a hater towards the Moxiety shippers, because I'm sure they've been through some stuff already. But I just really anyway, that's just where I'm gonna leave that. I really, like, if you're gonna get like all caught up in like the idea of shipping being gross, grow up. We're just having fun here. Grow up. As long as nobody's hurting anything or being like weird or harassing or anything, like who cares? Shut up. Get a life. Genuinely. Remember like earlier in the video when I talked about the names of the Sanders characters, and 2 names in particular were based around the same concept. Those being Logan and Patton, being based off of Logos and Pathos, 2 of 3 of Aristotle's appeals. Well, you may have also noticed that there's one appeal that has been left out so far, ethos. And that's not something that went unchecked. It's something that has been widely noticed throughout the Sanders fandom over the years. And even Hold on, I'm doing math right now. Even 8 years after the series' initial release, we still haven't gotten Ethos. But what would a character whose name is based around Ethos even be named? Well, the Sanders fan will tell you right away what the answer is. That, of course, being Ethan. Like I said, I was not there in the times before Virgil had a name, but from what I've been told, there was a wide crowd of the fandom that believed that Virgil's name, when it was revealed, would be Ethan to match Logan and Patton. I don't know if that necessarily would make sense for him, but I can see why people would think that. Now, what I was there for was when this carried over to Janice, because Janice went quite a while without having a name as well, so we had a lot of time to theorize and come up with our own ideas for what we thought his name would be. Now, like I said, I thought I went with Dawson for reasons I don't want to re-explain my voice.
Not a fucking pedophile. I, Shane, Yaw, my real name. On record saying I am not a fucking...
But I do know, so, there was one fanfiction author I followed on Wattpad in my Wattpad days who called him Declan. There were other popular options. Some people just called him D, other things, words and stuff. But again, one of the most popular options for Janice's name was Ethan. And obviously, that's not what it ended up being. So, what we have right now is we have 3 characters whose name either start with A and or Owen. We have 2 characters whose names end... Did I say start with? 2 characters whose names end with US, and then 1 character who's a Virgil. And as seen in the Sanders Sides anime intro, Virgil is kind of in the middle of things. You have the light sides and the dark sides. And to achieve an even balance on both ends of the spectrum, there would of course need to be 3 dark sides, and we already talked about the orange side, who, like the fact that he hasn't been revealed at all, doesn't have a name. So I'm going to give you one wild guess for what some people think the orange side's name is going to be. Ethan. We will never learn. I don't think we're getting Ethan. I don't think we're getting Ethan. And if we get Ethan now, honestly, if we get it now, I don't think we would just pick up a little bit. I'm not even kidding, because we have the 3 A and orange sides, we have Virgil and we have 2 US sides, so the orange side's name doesn't end in US.
I will lose it.
But yeah, Ethan is something that's been around for a while, and I do think that's weird that we never got an Ethos character. But like John said in the explanation, Logan and Patton are like that shape that they made. Dichotomy, I think that's what they said. They're together. They work together. They bounce off each other. And then also, like John said, they wanted Virgil and Roman to be similar, so they're together. And then Janice and Remus, they're together. So I don't know. I'm just curious to see where the orange side is going to fit in all of this. I'm very excited. Hopefully we're getting a little bit more Sanders this year. So we'll see where this goes. I'm not so sure that we're going to get the season finale this year, which is when a lot of people have theorized that the orange side is going to finally live here. But we'll see. This is very exciting times for the fan. We're waking up. We feel it in our bones enough to make our systems flow. Everything in the chemicals.
You're a religious man, correct? Yeah, but there have been plenty of bad religious people throughout history. Well, I cannot argue with that. Religion is not perfect, but when it is not abused, piety is just as valid as the innumerable other ways to live a principled life. To the best of your ability, you try to live your life based on a moral code set by your faith, correct? Do unto others as we have them do unto you, love thy neighbor as thyself, etc. Yeah. Thou shalt not kill is one such principle, but it certainly couldn't be said that that's where the figurative bar has been set. Couldn't all this talk of religion create a connection between Thomas's beliefs and his intrusive thoughts? Careful, Virgil! You're giving me ideas. Actually, Virgil, Thomas's faith and his relationship with the Duke are and always have been inextricable. I don't know about all that. Thomas's Catholic upbringing has instilled in him that thought is a precursor to action. Consider some of the 7 deadly sins: greed, pride, envy, lust, wrath. 5 of the 7 deadly sins are committed in your head. There's a reason why the Duke has continuously used religious language. He's playing to your sensitivities. It's fine if you disapprove of toxic thinking, but you can't banish any and all unpleasant thoughts when there's a constant stream of thoughts going through your head at all times. The Duke was right. Not only does repression not work, but it can be very bad indeed. I understand that your natural human reaction when you see something disturbing is to look away, but if you let me examine the Duke's contributions, then I could expose him for being unrealistic and figuratively dress him down. Oh, well, if that's what you wanted, Logan, you could have just said so. I said figuratively, and that is why I say it. That is why I say it!
What do you think about the biggest plot wins in Sanders Sides? Well, I guess my first thought would be Virgil's acceptance. Number 2, I don't know, Nico. I don't know. But number 3, for sure, without a doubt, is the wedding versus the callback. This was literally where I joined the fandom. The first video I saw the release of was part 1 of Selfishness versus Selflessness. This was a big deal. Like this is like to date the most arc building video of the entire series, I would say. Like, you can't really look at any of the other videos and say that they changed the series nearly as much as this video did. And I'm probably exaggerating. There are probably others that came before, came after. I don't care. I'm exaggerating. But anyway, I'm just going to, as quickly as possible, explain the wedding versus callback, because I tried doing it and it took way too long. So then I thought, okay, what if I play with clips? And then I realized that would be too long and it would be way too much of just taking like bits of the episode and plugging it in and then trying to cut it down, but not being able to cut it down. I tried. So now I'm going to give you the Spark Notes version of what happens in, I'm going to say 4 videos. I think I'm going to go over Selfishness versus Selflessness part 1 and 2. I'm going to do a little bit of dealing with intrusive thoughts and a little bit of working through intrusive thoughts, because those 4 are together. And then there is like this one little line from the anniversary video. Anyway, so Selfishness versus Selflessness part 1 starts with Thomas telling Simon about an opportunity he has to work for a callback with a director that he looks up to, Alfred Hitchcock Lucas. And I'm really excited until Pat remembers that the same date that the callback is supposed to be held is the date of his friends Lee and Mary Lee, their wedding. That's their wedding day. There's also Homestead Day, but I'm not going to talk about that. So what happens is it quickly becomes a debate of should he skip the wedding or should he skip the callback? What has more to offer or what has more to lose? And from the get-go, you can kind of tell where everyone sort of stands on this. Patton firmly believes that he should go to the wedding. He should support his friends who have always supported him back. Roman wants to go to the callback because he's the dreamer of the sides. He wants Thomas to pursue acting and get the best opportunities possible. Virgil's kind of just doing whatever Patton's doing at this point, and I talk about this a little bit later. But Virgil's on Patton's side for the most part. Janus, obviously, he wants Thomas to go to the callback because he's the self-serving one of the sides who wants what would benefit Thomas the most, you know? Like, I don't know how to explain Janus' character, but that's the best I can do with the timeline I view myself. But anyway, and then Logan comes in a little bit later, and he says two things. First of all, that it wouldn't really cost much to not go to the callback because Thomas had just learned about the callback a few hours ago, so not going to it would have been like not even getting the opportunity at all. But he also does say that he doesn't really care if they go to the wedding because he sees Thomas' friend as a distraction to him and his work, so what's too less, you know? But that's just Logan being the logical thinking center. So very quickly, we have all of the sides of stance on this, and it's a pretty even split. I'm sure if Remus had been introduced at this point, he would probably be on the side of the callback, but yeah, it's a pretty even split. It's 2-3, which is as even as I can really get with 5. But then when they're in the courtroom, and everyone's given their roles, Roman is the judge, Virgil is the juror, and then Janus is the prosecutor, Patton is the defendant, and then Logan's just in the crowd because he came in late. Thomas, it becomes less about which one are they going to, which event will they attend, and is more about, is Thomas a good person? Fundamentally, would this decision change Thomas's role or belief in himself that he is a good person? And he tells Patton
I don't know what's true at this point. I just know what I want to be true. I want to believe you're an honest person. But Deceit's right. He's here. And that means something. Are you serious? I've been following your lead this whole time. I'm in the dark here, Patton. I need something to light my way. I'm sorry, but I don't know the way. I don't want to be a bad person. Okay, then I'll do whatever I can to make sure you're not.
Anyway, so what happens in the courtroom, I'm going to skip over the details because I focus on the details and we're not getting anywhere. But what happens is, eventually, Roman sort of realizes that Janus is trying to, like, butter him up, like, speak to his, he is Thomas's ego, he is speaking to that, and he realizes that he doesn't want Janus to, quote-unquote, win this. So, they find Thomas guilty of, wanting to go to the callback, but his punishment for being found guilty, Roman decides, is that he will go to the wedding. And this is a very, personal decision for Roman specifically, because, like I said, he is the dreamer, he is the actor side, he's the one who wants to pursue that side of Thomas's thinking, so this is a very big blow to him. But, it is what it is. So, they decide Thomas was going to the wedding. When we pick up the deal of intrusive thoughts, Thomas is clearly sleep-deprived, not feeling very great. And they sort of ask Logan, they're like, hey, what's up with this guy? And he's like, he recently, I think Logan says this. Hang on, it might be Virgil. I think it's Virgil. Virgil's like, well, he's missing out on a pretty big opportunity. He just recently found out that he's not as good of a person as he hoped that he is. Blah, 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 blah. He's not doing great. And all of this has culminated in a spike in intrusive thoughts, which is, of course, when we get Remus. But I don't really need to talk about dealing with intrusive thoughts too much, because that was mostly what I wanted to cover. This decision of going to the wedding versus the callback sort of kicked this off on the Remus train as well, so that's very nice. That's very cool. So then in Selfishness versus Selflessness part 2, they regret going to the wedding. Well, Roman regrets it in particular because, Lee and Mary Lee didn't really talk to Thomas all that much. It wasn't that much of a win in their books, and him not going to the wedding would have been like it would have been the same outcome. If they realized, hey, if we just talked to these guys before and explained it, they probably would have been okay with it. And I went on this rampage earlier in the Roman section of this video because it just pisses me off. Like that was what Roman suggested in the first place. Roman just talk to them and they'll probably be fine with it. But no, we don't want Thomas to be that person. I'm not gonna get into that again because I already have. But yeah, so there's a lot of regret there, and it really wakes Thomas and Roman up to the fact that maybe Patton doesn't have the most like the best idea of what Thomas's moral should be. And this was a little bit of what was realized in dealing with the truth stuff as well, in that Patton's idea of what good versus bad is kind of skewed. And he's also very he's very passionate about what he views as right versus wrong, which makes sense because he has morality, but also sometimes it causes more trouble than what it's worth. And this is the first time in a while that any of the light sides, well, not the light sides, but I want to say Roman and then Virgil as well, and Thomas really question Patton's decision making and his reasoning for things. And of course, this is where we get Lily Paddington, which you saw at the beginning of the video. I've been trying not to explain it for as long as possible, but it's exactly what it looks like. He gets very stressed because they're questioning him, which isn't something that necessarily has happened before, and he becomes a giant video game frog, which is cool. And then the only one who's able to really quote unquote defeat him is Janus coming in and changing the conversation, which then leads obviously to Janus asserting to Patton, Thomas, and Roman that he is not inherently bad. He does not want bad things for Thomas. He is Thomas's center for self-care and all that and self-preservation, and that he is not just a liar. He also wants what's best for Thomas. They all do in their own ways. So yeah. So then it of course leads to Patton and Thomas outright starting to accept Janus, and then we saw Roman not being very well about this decision and then leaving. And of course I wanted to say that there was a piece of working through stuff that I wanted to talk about, which is just the end card, in which we really see Virgil start to challenge Patton as well, where I don't know exactly what Patton says. I'll just play the clip here.
Come on, Logan, no need to be a pouty professor. Roman is right. I think we should all just be supportive of Thomas right now. He needs this.
Oh, thank goodness you're giving him permission.
Well, yeah, of course I would.
And of course that is a job to something Patton said in the first intrusive thoughts video, where he was like, sometimes if you have to think these bad things, these negative things, you have my permission to do so. And that's Virgil just being like, hey, somebody gave you permission. And then the next one I wanted to talk about was there's a line in the anniversary video where Thomas asks the sides about their regrets, and Roman...
What? Me? Regret? I have one regret.
Wait, that doesn't look like Lee and Mary Lee's wedding. Did you print out a stock image?
You didn't take any photos!
And I'm pretty sure that's the last we hear of the callback for a while, from what I can remember. So yeah, that's that. I did this in 12 minutes, which is shorter than the last time I tried to summarize it, but yeah, I probably left all that stuff out. Who cares? This is my video, and you're just watching it. Goodbye.
Sounds like he's against Nazis, so why not hear him out,
That cannot be where the bar is.
Pardon me, are you Aaron Burr, sir? That depends. Who's asking?
Okay, you don't have to be rude. I'm just a big fan. Sorry.
I I wanna be in the room where it happens, the room where it happens. I wanna be in the room.
Thank you, Leslie. Yes, Leslie Odom Jr., everyone. Thank you. Yes, thank you. This is Sanders' sides, not Odom's sides.
So, Leslie, I don't know what I was doing there. Leslie actually has a pretty deep connection to the Sanders side series. That, of course, meaning that he was in 2 episodes, technically. The first being the A New Year of Lying to Myself in Song video, when Thomas shows a Vine that he had with Leslie Odom Jr. It was just a Hamilton joke. But Leslie's big break in the series actually was much later, in an episode we've been talking about quite a lot. Selfishness versus selflessness. Redux, putting others first. This video will haunt me until the day that I die. Why did he make this? Why did he create this? There's so much to say about this video, and yet so little at the same time. What is going on? Anyway, so Leslie Odom Jr.'s role in this video is that he is brought up in a hypothetical situation by Patton in order to help Thomas feel some sort of sympathy for a hypothetical stranger, because if it's just some guy, then he's not going to be able to feel sympathy. But if it's Broadway star Leslie Odom Jr., well, there are some stakes there. So the hypothetical goes, say Thomas is excited because the new Frogger game just came out, and it is the price of a hot dog. But as he's going to the store to buy the game, he passes by a very hungry, very homeless Leslie Odom Jr., who just wants food. And there's a hot dog stand nearby. So, what does Thomas do? Does he buy the hot dog, or does he buy the new Frogger game? Me personally, I'm saying that if you're going to any store ever, only having enough money for a hot dog is kind of whack. But, so, obviously, Thomas decides, you know, he's going to give the money to Leslie for the hot dog. Well, he's going to buy the hot dog. I just don't think that... one issue with this is that I don't think the other option was compelling enough for Thomas to want to choose it. It should have been something else, but I get it. Patton's old. Funny dad guy, Frogger. Blah, 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 blah. I'm not saying that Thomas should have picked the game, but I am saying that if it was more compelling on that end, maybe it would have been a harder decision. But after deciding to buy the hot dog, Patton then says, well, he takes it and he doesn't even say thank you. How does that make you feel? And he's like, bad. So basically this whole thing is just a metaphor for the wedding. Lee and Mary Lee's wedding. It is, well, you did the charitable thing. You went to your friend's wedding. They barely talked to you. How does that make you feel? So that's that. But then Leslie comes up and I want to say a few more hypothetical scenarios. It might just be one. But he's animated into the video quite a bit. But then at the end, Patton and Janice are talking, and Patton is like, well, how many times does somebody have to say sorry before, you know, something stupid? And then Janice says something, and Patton's like, well, I know who I need to apologize to. And it's made out to seem like it's going to be like this pretty big heartfelt moment. It's not. He's like, I'm so sorry, Leslie. I'm so sorry. And then Leslie starts to say something, but then gets cut off by Janice in that one clip that I showed at the beginning of this. So then at the end card, I believe, there's a little bit of Leslie doing the "What is up, everybody" intro. But after that, that's the end of his involvement. I just thought it would be fun to bring up Leslie Odom Jr. Was it not fun? Did you not have a good time? My bad, bitch.
Lord, the toxic gossip train.
In the case of, is Thomas Sanders problematic? The answer is no. Of course, like, we're all human, we all make mistakes, we all do things that are imperfect, but the only thing that Thomas Sanders is really guilty of is just the crime of being cringe on the internet in this day and age. I did look into it. I looked in... originally, the plan was just looking into seeing why Sanders' sides would be problematic, but I think that's even less likely. But, yeah, no. There, like, I found a few things, but none of them had any, like, actual, like, grounds to stand on. It wasn't, like, anything that, like, could really be held against him. Like, one of the things I found was just him, like, standing up for asexual people, and people got mad about that. But, like, there's not, like, anything actually problematic about the guy, so there's no need to bust out the Bo Burnham song about it. So, this part is, shorter than I was anticipating. I was anticipating I'd find something to talk about, but no. So, I went ahead and I'm going to merge this section with the next one, which is discussing how some people think that Sanders Sides is a series about a man who has dissociative identity disorder, and because of that, they hate the series. Which is really funny because I actually got in an argument with one of my friends who I'm not friends with anymore. I got in a fight with him over that because I started talking about Sanders Sides. I wasn't even into it at the time. I just, like, remembered it and I wanted to talk about it a little bit. And he got, like, kind of, like, upset because he was like, you should know, like, that's not okay, that's not right. And I'm like, what's not right about it? It's not about DID. But some people don't understand that. There is a difference between dissociative identity disorder and what Sanders Sides is. Sanders Sides is portraying 6 different facets of one man's personality. It's literally just inside out. I don't know how this is hard to understand. So just because they all have names and they all look a little different doesn't mean that he's pretending to have DID. He's not. It's not the same thing. And there's a whole, like, group of people who hate the series because of that. Even though No. Thomas has addressed this a few times before, saying, yeah, no, it's not the same thing.
And I think that's important to note because a lot of people say personalities.
They're aspects of your one personality.
Of my one personality.
You don't have dissociative identity disorder.
Yeah. Which I want to do a video about that specifically.
Disorder, yeah.
Just to kind of, like, bring that distinction. It's very much like an inside-out situation.
Yeah, they're personifications of, like, certain traits you have.
Just like in Inside Out, they had a panel. We are like Inside Out, but instead of a panel, it's a debate.
Yeah.
And I get that me saying, no, it's not that. You shouldn't be mad that because it isn't that. But I get that me saying that doesn't really help anything, and it doesn't really stop anyone from feeling the way that they do, and I get that. But, like, you know, it's good to at least like bring that up, because that is one of the only like actual criticisms people have of the show, other than, you know, like the cringe stuff, which, like, yeah, I get that. I understand the cringe stuff. And I can make fun of that. I can make fun of it when it's cringe, but I do enjoy the show, like, in its more serious moments, you know? But yeah, that's just this part. It's one of the last parts of the entire thing, so we're almost there. We're almost done. We just gotta get some of this other stuff out of the way. And we're done.
On the bottom, Paige. You were good. I'm waiting for you to be great. And next, Kendall. You didn't stick out to me. Next is Brooke. Next, Nia. You're third on the pyramid. You were third overall high score. And Mackenzie. And on top of the pyramid, going 3 for 3, once again, is Maddie.
My only philosophy for this section of the video is, hey man, you made it this far into the video. You might as well stick around and just watch a few of the clips that made me love the series as much as I do right now. And then you can leave. But also, I am going to leave something after all of these clips that you have to watch. So if you don't watch them all the way through, you'll miss that. So watch the damn clips, because I spent weeks working on this. Please watch the clips, I implore you. Please. Goodbye.
Last thing. Stay with me here. Say you had a stereotypical relationship between a man and a woman. You lost me. Okay. Let me simplify.
Rude much? I was just touching up my eyeshadow. You actually look in a mirror to put that on? Did you actually look in a mirror when you put that on? Wow. Jeez. Perhaps it's time to put on our cogitating caps. You mean our figurative cogitating caps, right, Logan? No, it's literal. All right, cool. Well, keep me updated. All right, we're all set now. Get ready, because on this ride, you will get wet. What? What are we doing? Because it has been like 5 ever. Yeah, it has. Yeah, I'm already doing it, Virgil. Do you know how long everybody's been waiting for another one of these? I'm already doing it, Virgil! Sure, some of these scenarios may not be verisimilitudinous, but try again. Sure, some of these scenarios may not seem realistic, but... Yeah, you better run. What was that? Nothing, get out! My ego is a bit bruised. Everything hurts! Okay. Oh my gosh. Patton, my blinds! I am so sorry. Did you break my blinds? I popped up too close. Your heart is crying out to you. Patton, cry out to him. What? Go ahead, cry out. Why would that be wrong? Because Thomas gave his word, but you wouldn't know anything about words, would you, mister? I don't know what you mean. Giving your word is an act of honesty between— What? I can't understand you. I don't know anything about words. Okay. All right. We got a smart aleck over here. Huh? I know. It's because I've decided to duck out. Quack. Wait, duck out? Quack, quack. That's a thing you can do? For this video, I guess. Oh, I've heard of this before. It's called yogurting. I've actually tried this myself. Is this why Princey spit yogurt at me yesterday?
No further questions. Smirk. Did he just say smirk?
Who are you to criticize my work? Oh my gosh, what is up your butt? An arm!
It's not quite a fourth wall, it's really more of a single column in the middle of all of us.
I don't want to think about that. Go back to your spot.
Okay, I love you.
I love you. You know what? Fine. If you don't want to listen to me, this is your issue to resolve. I am outie 50,000. 5,000? Ding, ding, ding. You know, Thomas, I don't know if that makes sense. The text sounded so serious.
I literally typed out F-word face. Is that serious in your world? Is that a serious person thing?
And to wrap up the self-care advice, steal chapstick. Who cares? It's chapstick. Roman, I only mean well when I say that that is the stupidest thing you have ever said. Oh, Thomas. You're just blowing smoke. I agree with your new opinion, Virgil, and the movie we're about to watch is going to demonstrate just how bad running and hiding can be. That is, if the film you submitted received the most votes. I have a feeling it did. Now, I may not have voted for Frozen, Roman, but I'm still rooting for your happiness. Oh my goodness, 100% of the votes went to Frozen! Yay! A landslide victory! Go, Roman! Always fighting crime at night. Fighting is scary. Nighttime is scary. The spider on the middle of your chest is scary. Spider-Man's scary! You're scary! Go away! Where is anxiety? What are you doing in my room? I think one of them moved! I knew that. I don't know if you guys can tell, but I'm a little silly. This situation is pretty cut and dry, isn't it? You guys just cut it out. I'm doing nothing wrong. Same size. You're my creative side. People still love you, don't worry. Oh, I don't worry about that. Is this new lifestyle not filling you with enjoyment? Why didn't I just listen to Roman? I wasn't even like a groomsman or anything. Well, it's not Lee's fault that he has so many brothers. Catholics. Yeah, Catholics. Those baby-making Catholics. Of course they would stay in my head. Why would I want to do any of this in real life? You tell us. You're the one who's thinking about it. Yeah, I didn't make him throw the baby. I merely gave him a baby and a large, sharp knife. I am the walrus. It was how do you feel? I am the walrus. Not what I meant. And you probably should stop showing people your, well, one problem at a time.
Aw, man, yeah, I'm like so coked up on chocolate fondue. I don't even know what I'm saying right now.
Oh, and no one has ever done any good with dishonesty at someone else's expense. It was pretty despicable when the Allies misled the Germans about the date and location of their D-Day landings, an operation which led to the eventual liberation of Europe from Nazi control. All right, he can stay.
7 selected Virgil. 6 grams against the English language. 5 second cookies. You jerks, changing the lyrics. 3 small cats. 2 pork bits. Are you trying to rap?
I do not like to sing. Half of all marriages end in divorce, so... Actually, that's an outdated statistic. Divorce rates have been declining for the past 35 years.
Yeah, early.
Welcome. One, welcome all to They Said What? The Sanders Sides Quotes Guessing Game Show, created by me, the person who made this entire video. Why would it be by someone else? Do you want it to be made by someone else? Have you been thinking about someone else this whole time? How dare you? You disgust me. What? I'm just kidding. So this was just something I made so that I could break up the giant block of just clip after clip after clip that was this section. And I wanted to throw in a little bit of audience participation and a little bit of fun, a little silliness, a little bit of, I call it editing flair, but realistically it only took me 5 minutes to make that intro. And we're going to start, where all good game shows start, with question 1. Our first question comes from the episode Selfishness versus Selflessness, and I will play the clip now.
You mentioned that you have responsibilities other than Thomas's logical thinking. Would you please name a few for the court? Let's see. I am the primary overseer of Thomas's Language Center. I am the director of activities for Thomas's right arm. Just the right. The left arm is managed by...
Alright, so what will he say next? Was the left arm managed by... Hold on, I gotta get to my notes. Was it managed by A. Patton, B. Virgil, C. Roman, or D. Remus? And I will give you approximately 5 seconds to come up with your answer. Of course, you can pause the video so you have infinite time to figure this out, but I trust you. The correct answer, of course, was...
The left arm is managed by Roman. Roman! It's real mature, Your Honor.
It was Exhibit B for Bert.
It wasn't Patton, it wasn't Virgil, and Remus wasn't even introduced at this point. So if you chose him, have you even been listening? Anyway, back to the show.
Hey, Darude Sanderstorm, there's a bouncy castle out back. You wanna come? It's pretty lit.
No, I would not like to bounce on a bouncy castle. I could trip and injure myself.
A fair point. Your logical decision-making truly is a positive influence on your companions.
Let us instead start a book club.
Yes!
I waited for my turn to speak. Please do not disrespect the sanctity of the rules that we just made up just now. As I was saying...
So this thing fries stuff? Well, yeah, potatoes, pickles, you name it. Chicken fingers?
Oh,
Well, yeah.
Human fingers?
Yeah, wait.
I've got a bad feeling about this.
I've got a bad feeling about everything. That's why we're doing this.
Okay. He tampered with the evidence. Objection! That is bad for my case.
Patton, I hate to break it to you, but you know that's kind of his job.
I didn't think that would work, and it didn't. Wait, so we're stuck in a loop? You can say that again. We're stuck in a loop. You can say that again. We're stuck in a loop? You can say that again.
Oh my gosh, I will kill both of you with my bare hands.
And this sword. Look, I am out there living the fanciful dream, okay? He couldn't be struggling because of me. Why not Sunshine over here?
They already ruled me out, Sir Sing-a-Lot.
Ha! I like that nickname, and I'm gonna use it now. Get me out of here, please. I need to leave. Oh, what's the matter, Logan? Do your socks have holes in them? No, they do not. Then how'd you get your feet in them? Of course not. He's just trying to build up a false confidence in you so that you can plummet to even greater depths. That does sound like a very funny, wholesome prank, but no, I mean it. Oh, you guys aren't understanding me. They would stay in Thomas's head because he would pretend like he never had the thoughts in the first place. So, we're back to repression then. Logan said that that doesn't work. That's what repression is? Well, I know you're gonna flip out at this. Ah! You're free to make fun, ill-advised decisions. I need you to hit me with your car for a video.
I've dreamed of this moment.
You have?
No, let's go.
Right. And sure, I made mistakes all the time, but you know, I'm better now, right? I don't know. Are you?
I don't know, am I? What if you sniffed your dog's butt?
Shut up. Sure, you have Gryffindor?
The brave ones!
Well, yeah, but that's an oversimplification. They're also determined and chivalrous. And this is the one Roman thinks he's in? Do I? I don't even know if I want to think about it. You know what? Yes, I do. Logic!
El príncipe es estúpido.
El príncipe es estúpido. Oh, so what's the plan here? We're gonna sort you! Sort me? Well, sure, I myself am a Hufflepuff, but you all are different facets of my personality with different strengths and weaknesses. It may take some discussion, but I am sure that we can thoughtfully deduce where each of you—
Gryffindor, Hufflepuff, Ravenclaw, Slytherin. There we go. End of Sanders Sides video. Until next time, everyone.
Oh, yay!
Thank God. Whoa!
Ah, look, the closet is begging you to be organized. You see, it's a humorous remark because closets aren't sentient. You knew they weren't sentient, right, Thomas? Can you spell your name for the court? Ha! Easy. Really, obviously, muscular, and nice. R-O-M-A-N. Well,
What about my mansion? Oh, yes, of course, that. What about it? It's stupid. There's a million reasons why that's a bad idea. We are starting to lose our interviewees.
I don't know. I'm actually kind of getting into this. Bring it on.
All right. If you had to kiss one of the others, who would you choose?
And I'm out.
It's me. Hi. And the problem is me. At time. What do you mean that we're live? Wait. Oh. Hey, how's it going? Hey. Oh, you're probably here for that second question, huh? Oh, this is awkward. Okay, well, question 2 of the Sandersides game show comes to us from Moving On Part 2. And here's the clip.
Patton, what happened there? Oh, that was nothing, Thomas. Sometimes I just get to acting a little bit silly. That's all. Look, pictures. Patton, that wasn't acting silly. That was something much worse than silly. No,
Alright, so, what does Patton say? Does he say, okay, that's something worse, Kooky? Or, that's something worse than silly, Feisty? That's something worse than silly, Spooky? Or, finally, that's something worse than silly, Crazy? Okay, so to review your answer, your choices are A, Kooky, B, Feisty, C, Spooky, or D, Crazy. 5 seconds on the clock. Alright, so the answer, of course, was...
And that wasn't acting silly. That was something much worse than silly. Feisty. No, right, defense? I would just like to say that I am rubber, you are glue, whatever you say bounces off of me and sticks to you. That is all.
This debate is sponsored by the National Essential Reasoning Department, or NERD.
Or we do not have to abbreviate it.
And you're a creep.
Okay.
You're a weirdo.
Right.
What the hell are we doing here?
Well, can we all at least agree that between the two of us, I would win in a fight?
Oh,
yeah.
Oh,
Yeah. That's not a question. Nope. Hey guys. Okay, Patton seems more like a Ravenclaw to me. Ooh, it's blue. That doesn't follow at all. Indubiously. This is a bigger ending twist than the Oscars.
Stop. You're dating this video. Don't do
The
that.
day today, heart with an arrow in it.
Huh. Delete it.
Okay, yeah. That makes sense. If they got married, then he'd be Mark with his spoon. Am I delirious, or is this the funniest video I've ever made? That's ridiculous, Roman. Have you ever heard of What's Mine is Yours? They be Mr. and Mrs. with their spoon. Patton, that was my joke! You hijacked my joke! You hijacked! And no matter what, no one knows you better than yourself. Am I right, Tony? Not my name.
Then what is it?
Okay, I guess. Bye, everyone. Thomas, I trust that I don't have to explain to you just how weird that was.
Who is up, dog? That just proved it. Loops are the worst.
Hey, some loops are fun. Fruit. Oh, he's done. Oh, I thought he was gonna... No, that was his whole statement. Okay, well, personally and objectively, I thought we were quite convincing as Thomas's friends. I'd have to agree with you. I guess you could say Thomas is a man of many...
Talents. Not again!
I think I have a vocab word for this. You good, Vom? Wow, that was bad, but like, you're a really good trier, Logan. You're really good. Thanks. Hey, we have the same glasses. Yep. I talked about my imagination, all the things I could do with it, the things I could create. Oh my goodness, the memories. This is me electrifying my brother. And a proper plan to address a big project would definitely cut down a lot of the nervousness I feel in starting it. But not completely. Shush and make a face of agreement like everyone else. Thank you. Reek is what I was going for. Well, I mean, my deodorant's flavor is pickled poologs. Flavor? Deodorants don't have flavors. You don't eat deodorant. Maybe you don't. I find that Thomas winning the callback. Winning the callback. Is that how that should be phrased? Yes. Greetings, wonderful citizens, and you nerds. Hi. Mulled wine? I'm not sharing it with anyone, I'm just showing it off.
In case you were wondering, yes, I do have quite a few of these segments on deck. And yes, they are going to only get more and more frequent. And yes, that is the Smiling Friends theme tune that I stole and am using for my own purposes. But I'm not making money, so hopefully I don't get sued. Anyway, question number 3 of the Sandersides guessing game comes from dealing with intrusive thoughts. Here's the clip.
Why do you want to stifle your own creativity, Thomas? I'm sorry that I don't see the creative merit in...
And for this, I'm going to start the sentence over and reread it as like someone would when they were playing Cards Against Humanity and they want to fully immerse themselves in the sentence. So that's what I'm going to be I'm sorry. That's what I'm going to be doing. So, let's begin. I'm sorry, I don't see the creative merit in a real-life you situation. You, as in the Netflix series. I'm sorry, I don't see the creative merit in acid brain sex zombies. C. I'm sorry, I don't see the creative merit in romancing the clown from It. Or D, I'm sorry, I don't see the creative merit in juicy butthole. Alright, again, I'm going to give you 5 seconds to think about this. And the answer was...
Why do you want to stifle your own creativity, Thomas?
I'm sorry that I don't see the creative merit in juicy butthole.
Oh, come on, Thomas.
Ask Janice about our song Lies.
It was a song about lies! And I wasn't there for it!
Did someone say Prince? No.
Okay, so we kiss now? Or...
Oh, I know that. I was just making sure that it was known I was the side that did the most work and deserved the most credit. Boy, what an ass set to your personality, am I right?
I didn't know you made jokes like that.
What joke did I make?
Snow glows white on the mountain tonight, not a footprint to be seen.
Except for the footprints behind you. Hey, yeah. A little louder than my usual taste. However, the clear influence of the de style movement is particularly inspired.
Well, that sweater is de style nowadays.
As I was saying.
Then there's Ravenclaw, typically known as the wise and clever ones.
Oh, that is me, isn't it?
The ones who think they're smarter than everyone else.
Well, I don't think I'm smarter than everyone else.
I know I'm smarter than everyone else.
Facebook! Everyone else, please! Some... flames. On the side of my face. Seething fire.
Is something bothering you, buddy?
Either way, you are not creativity. Yeah, that is the brave, handsome, unbeatable Roman.
Oh, Mommy, I don't want the mashed potato.
But sometimes it just shows up, out of nowhere.
Thanks, but let's call them what they are, Roman.
Spider curtain.
Creepy crawly death dealers.
Okay.
So, let's do something else. You should color. Logan, I'm a grown man. I would love to color.
Do you have to go?
You'll be fine, Elsa.
But you two won't, am I right? They're gonna die at sea. I sleep in the bubble.
I mean, that's a classic introverted method of talking about yourself without having to do anything too extreme. Like talking. Beauty and the Beast.
Okay, I know what you're gonna say. You're gonna say Stockholm Syndrome, but...
I don't know. It just came up organically.
Organically? Like craft is organic? Another pun? Excuse me. Roman, you don't. You made a joke and now they'll think that everything's fine.
Virgil, how many times has our response to a difficult decision been half committing to one option and subsequently panicking about whether that option is our best option until it's too late for Thomas to change his mind?
Are you actually asking me that question? I'm genuinely asking because I can't tell. Do you want me to? I can count them out.
No.
7,430.
No.
You're just so literal.
Well, people know me from all the vines that I make, but I don't think people really know me.
Well, maybe they would if you'd post YouTube videos more often.
Oh my, whoop, there it is.
Lies. They could be lies. Oh, they'll be lies. I'm doing fine.
You sicken me.
Think you know someone and then wham! Out of nowhere, they fill your apartment with feral cats, and now you're somehow responsible for the vet bills? You've got to give them away, but despite your cat allergy, you've endeared yourself to them, especially to Mrs. Snuffles. More like Mrs. Sniffles, because of the allergy. Scary is more like this! No, not like that.
Alright, our next question is a little bit different from the others in that there are actually 6 options, I think. Yeah, 6 options. And the answer is going to be 2 parts technically. You have, the second part is a song title, and then the first part is the person who made that song. So, just for example, this isn't the answer. You'd have Driver's License, Olivia Rodrigo, except opposite. So Olivia Rodrigo's Driver's License. That's the format of this answer. And I'm going to show you the clip, and I'm going to just bleep out the answer, and then I'm going to give you your options, and you're going to guess which song is what he's saying. So this comes from, once again, Dealing with Intrusive Thoughts, and here is the clip.
How about this? You get buck naked on camera and self-immolated. Now that'll leave an impression.
How about this? You get buck naked on camera and self-immolate to Taylor Swift's Shake It Off. Now that'll leave an impression.
Wow, I hate him. I hate him.
Haters gonna hate.
Well, I'm always confused. Ain't that the truth? Maybe I should clarify. More confused than on average. That sounds about right. You are so smart. You could solve anything. Why don't we talk more? Uh-oh, feelings. Patton. Eyeshadow buddies. We are buddies. Look, let's give him the old liar. What color's my shirt? Red. I mean blue. Uh-oh. Sometimes it's just a matter of self-control. Bad deceit. Oh, sorry, deceit. I'm just kidding. Well.
Oh, shut up, nerdy Wolverine.
How about you shut up?
All right, you get my original gift. It socks.
Because you're cold-blooded, and you might need the extra warmth.
Well, that is a scientific fact about me.
I know.
Prince, I gotta say, you do impress me. By being a clueless moron all of the time. Well, that wasn't remotely nice.
Buy a bigger house!
That, or you could rent a storage space so you wouldn't have to throw them away if you truly couldn't part with them. Come on, though. Bigger house means more dogs. Am I right? No? I'm getting worse? I'm sorry. So, I suppose now we begin compiling a list of people we need to nudge down a flight of stairs until they hold another round of callbacks. Oh my gosh, no! Relax, I'm kidding. Of course I'm kidding. Baby steps. No! No baby steps! No steps! I feel like I'm... Listen to me. Feel like...
What are you doing?
I don't know. Playing. If only there was someone out there who loved you. You meddled with the vote to ensure that we would watch this, and yet you're the one constantly making fun of it. Look, this is how I show my love. Ah! Uh-oh! You scared the pants right off of me. Oh my gosh, you guys don't think I'm scary. Put your pants back on, don't patronize me. You mean patronize? Whatever. That just slipped out. And cats are Virgil's thing. What? The hissing? Yeah, okay. But we're going to have to eliminate your breaks and carry out today's myriad of chores with what can only be described as supernatural expediency.
Oh boy.
I know. Isn't this so much fun?
This is me, again, I know I did it in text, but reiterating the fact that I adore Logan as a character. I think his character development is like one of the best done in the series, and I just love him. And I'm also bringing to light the fact of the working through intrusive thoughts script. And obviously I try not to bring up too much stuff that was just on Thomas's Patreon, because that stuff is behind a paywall for a reason, like, you know, but I paid for it, I'm spreading it by word of mouth, you know, and I don't think like too many people are gonna see this anyway. So I just wanted to bring this to attention because it hurt my feelings. So this again is working through intrusive thoughts, which is the video that the clip that I just played that's that video. And this is at the very end when Nico finally gets back in contact with Thomas and he agrees to go out to like this art gallery thing, which of course means that the schedule for the day is kind of abandoned or pushed back a little bit further back, you know. And I'm just gonna read some of this out. I'll just read some of this out. Oh my god. Okay, so Logan says, wait, Thomas, what about our plan? Thomas says, oh, I'll get to it, I will. I don't need to harp on something that's already been established, but I assure you that adhering to this agenda would... Another day, Logan, I promise. It'll be a job for tomorrow, Thomas, or day after tomorrow, Thomas. This is just really important. And then Logan has a look of disappointment, because he thought what they were doing was important too. He thought what they were doing was important too. Okay, yeah, that's all I wanted to say. Hey, I'm fine. I'd say I like them all equally, but I don't. I just like them all at different times, and right now I'm really feeling for Logan right now, so that's what that is. Anyway, back to the clip.
Ah, his burlap sack phase? And we all agreed that we were going to wear scary costumes. Do not spoil this belated Halloween for me. Wait, scary costumes? I don't think I got the memo on that one. I literally don't know how we discussed it in your head. True. How about we go for more positive, constructive criticism? Okay. It wasn't good. I don't like it. It was a good one. Very Romano cheesy. Romano? Okay, well, here's hoping that nickname doesn't last. Please, Romano. The more one tries to force out a thought, the more intrusive and or repetitive said thought becomes. Jeffrey Dahmer! Stop! 5 a.m., the witching hour. I could be wrong, but I believe that's midnight. 5 a.m., the devil's hour. Now I'm pretty sure that's 3 a.m. Well, then it's just 5 a.m. and you need to go to bed. I don't like you. You're just mad because I just came from a My Chemical Romance con. Okay, can you do taxes? Absolutely I cannot. You always do your best thinking in the shower. So, get naked? Everybody get naked? Everyone no, stop. No one is getting naked. Guys, thank you. Wait, okay, you get out. Yeah, no, just get out. All right, great, fantastic. Sink down, sink perfect. Okay. Sink down, there you go, right? All right, now you, two, fantastic. Go ahead. Oh, no witty quip. No dad joke, just sink down. Sink perfect, sink down. Perfect. Head back to my room for a sec, guys. I forgot my pants. Get out. That's who was using my DVR? I thought it was a ghost. I think I saw a lot of wide vowels. Nevada? More than that. Anaconda. Anaconda! Thomas, he's a Nicki Minaj fan. You only made things worse for yourself by dressing in a way that was so wannabe edgy. You were just making it way too easy to insult you. Hypocrite, say what? What? Oh my gosh, I can't believe it worked. Shut up. I'm supposed to go to the closet, open the door, and be attacked by... Ow!
You are like us. You are like us. You are like us. Hey, it is it's once again time for that annoying thing I do where I pop up every few minutes and I make you participate in the video. But anyway, after this, there are only 2 questions left. So there's this one and then 2 more. So 3 more, and then we're done. So we can both trudge through this together. The next question comes from the episode, What Makes the Perfect Gift? And here is the clip now.
This holiday, I decided to craft you something. With me own hands.
Oh, it's...
Uh-huh.
What did you make that with, Remus?
Oh, just some stuff from Joanne Fabric.
Oh, okay. Well, that's...
Oh my god!
What?
So, the question is pretty simple. Why does Virgil freak out at the gift being made from things from Joanne Fabric? You have 5 different options. Okay. A, he remembered that Joanne Fabric is actually homophobic. B, he remembered that they're imaginary and therefore can't go to Joanne Fabric. C, Joanne Fabric is the name Remus gave to his shower drain. Joanne Fabric is the name Remus gave to his vat of human excrement. And finally, Joanne Fabric is the name Remus gave to his body hair. So, 5 seconds to consider. And here's the answer.
That's the name he gave to his shower drain.
Yeah.
Oh, dear.
Why? What? It's a cute name.
Of course, that would have been too obvious. There must be something else other than me. Think, ponder, deliberate. Of course! Well, when is it enough?
Trees.
Oh, you're marrying that prince. Congratulations! Score!
Who do you want at your wedding?
Liza Minnelli.
Ring, ring, ring. Who's this? What? No, I'll tell him. She said she's going.
Yay, Liza!
Oh, what's that? Terrible news? Okay, she canceled.
That bitch! Her puppy's sick. She had to go to the vet, you monster.
Family emergency. I get it. Don't love it, but I get it.
Oh, she lied. I just checked her Snapchat and she's at her burlesque show.
Well, I guess life really is a cabaret, Miss Minnelli.
All right, and conclude. That was just a scene. Oh, I'm just like this. I also don't have any pores. Have you considered not having pores?
Supreme Dark Overlord of Negative Commerce. I'm afraid I'm gonna need your name.
No.
Nah, worth a shot.
I'm sorry, what is happening here?
Logic and I are playing dress up. Anxiety is making us question our existence, and I found $1. That $1 you borrowed from me 8 years ago?
Oh, yeah. Thanks, you newsy hipster theater geek Mark from Remy.
This is strictly to get me in the mindset for deductive reasoning. All business.
I'll be Watson. No, you can't play with us.
All business, huh?
Old tricks are tired, Deceit. You have to step up your game, man.
Roman, please don't tell me how to do my job better.
I mean, the wrong tie was a dead giveaway. As an actor, may I say, the little things make a huge difference.
Roman, enough.
No, seriously, Roman, enough.
Do you have any thoughts you'd like to add? He asked, knowing he'd regret it.
Oh, you mean the 3 videos that I was in? Yeah, they were fine. Nothing like what's coming up.
What?
Oh, honey, you got a big storm coming. Soap! Sheesh! You couldn't just tell me to stop? Kill a guy for being excited, why don't you? Really? Why don't you?
What are you talking about?
Te lo afirmo, te amo con todo mi corazón.
How do you know Spanish?
I don't even know Spanish.
Well, that's all well and good, but how's he supposed to do that when he still needs to work on eating right and taking care of himself more?
Yeah, I gotta do that too.
He can do that just fine. He's severely lacking in the knowledge department.
Well,
Bambi,
man is dangerous.
Pocahontas,
White man is dangerous.
all right.
But you've seen the last of me.
Anxiety, what do we do?
No, you were listening to me before. Remember how smart I was?
Why don't you generate an explanation for us, Logan?
Holy
I thought she was dead. It was a farewell kiss. What's with all the prince hate?
I wonder.
One thing I think we can all be thankful for, you guys.
Oh yeah? What is that?
You can't get any more unique than all of us.
That's right, Roman.
I didn't want to admit I was a bit confused by that. He's such a big Disney fan, I would have thought he'd see how similar we are to the concept of Inside Out.
What? Oh my...
You think you heard me?
My life is a lie. What do you know about love?
Apparently more than you.
Oh, I bet Virgil has a ton more to scare us with. How about me next, you bat-winged cherub?
I mean, you bad boy.
I'm sorry, did he just hiss at me?
Well, I didn't think we would look so similar. Plus, I wear it so much better than you, objectively.
What are you talking about? We have the same face!
Ah, but you are peering through a styling pair of Warby Parkers.
Thomas, you don't look like yourself.
That's Mr. Sanders, and this is who I am now.
Is no one gonna acknowledge that he just dabbed?
I was told that I could kill Bing Bong. Is that still on the table, or has the vibe shifted?
Maybe it's time that we take a look at the bigger picture here. You're talking about that picture? Yes, I still don't quite understand it.
I just liked it, Logan. I don't know why you're so confused by it. Like, this is like the 7th time you've asked about it.
Never mind, it doesn't matter. Now that we've looked at that, I'm a bit dismal, monochromatic.
Spicy!
What about Mulan? There's never a wrong time to dress in drag.
Lion King.
There's never a wrong time to dress in drag.
And do the hula! Oh!
You're a beacon of truth.
Oh, did I say that? I missed the part where I said that.
We have another question. This comes from Standerside's Q&A. It is another 2-parter similar to the song question. It is another song. So the answer is going to be another song. And here's the clip.
My favorite movie is contained the theme song. Much of a singer, so I shall recite the lyrics like a poem.
So, like he said, my favorite movie is blank, and it contained the theme song blank. So keep in mind that these are all Disney movies. So, okay. A. My favorite movie is Hercules, and it contained the theme song Go the Distance. B. My favorite movie is Big Hero 6, and it contained the theme song Immortals. C. My favorite movie is Frozen, and it contained the theme song Let It Go. Or D. My favorite movie is The Princess and the Frog, and it contained the theme song Almost There. 5 seconds to consider.
My favorite movie is Big Hero 6, and it contained the theme song Immortals by Fall Out Boy. I'm not much of a singer, so I shall recite the lyrics like a poem. They say we are what we are. That's enough of that.
Yeah, well, your sincere congratulatory remark recolors my sardonic slight and makes it appear sincere. Let it be known, I do not like the hair.
Does everyone understand their parts?
I broke my gavel.
I don't care. Wonderful. Now you've done it. Do you know what saying I love you means to them, Thomas?
No.
Exactly. No. Those are some big words, Sanders. You shouldn't use them lightly. You made me say that. Stop playing with people's hearts, Thomas!
And Virgil, anxiety is going to be voiced by Maya Hawk.
Oh, anxiety is going to be voiced by You're a Hawk? Nice try, Janice. You don't own a hawk!
I don't.
Go ahead, Logan.
Max Stirner was a racist, drunken, anarchist philosopher who squandered most of his wife's inheritance on his failed milk startup.
Oh. We're just going to focus on the philosopher part today.
Says there's a correct way to sit. You ever think about that, man?
Remus.
Expand your fucking mind, bro.
Woo! Okay, let me put it this way. Life is like a piñata.
Colorful and full of stuff that makes you happy?
Sure, and you want that stuff that makes you happy, right?
Do I?
Do I?
Well, in order to get that stuff, you must attack the piñata. But you're wearing a blindfold right now. You can keep playing with the blindfold on if you like the game better that way. But if you take it off, it's easier to get that stuff you want.
Attack the piñata?
I believe he's suggesting that you beat someone up and rob their unconscious body.
Right.
No!
Ah, Remus. It's a real shame you can't learn your lesson.
No, but I can. Please teach. Give me another chance. Don't flunk me. I don't know what Mama's gonna do if I don't get into an Ivy League college.
What?
I'll be better. I'll prove it to you.
I'll repent.
Okay, well, you do that.
Okay, but which board game? Because guess what? There are rules, and people start acting funny when it comes to rules.
Low gang, it's not really that big of a...
You don't fuck with the low gang!
The only opinion that matters is yours.
My anxiety.
So, make me cool? Am I being cool? Oh my gosh. My teeth.
Yeah,
I thought you said...
I changed my mind. I'm unpredictable like that. I bet...
why is that now, Patton? Because he's my hero?
We get it. You're adorable.
And society is made of lies. Society itself is a lie.
Then what's the truth?
You get enough people to share a piece of land and breathe the same air and you've got a society. Why? It's just a bunch of people in the same general area. It's an abstract concept, as real as the monster under your bed. But we obey these rules, or get punished for breaking them. All in the name of society. It's absurd and terrifying.
Okay. What does any of this have to do with Thomas?
I don't want Thomas to be disadvantaged in a world where you can die for not following the laws made in the name of a lie.
Alright. Okay, so, the funny thing is, I originally had the last 3 questions, of this game recorded, like, literally within, like, minutes of each other, because I just wanted to get them done so that when I put them in the thing, I could just edit them and not have to worry about having to record them. But I went on for literally 3 minutes in the last one about how sad I am about getting this project almost done, and what am I gonna do when it's over? But genuinely, getting this done, like, now, it's so much different of a feeling than it was a few weeks ago, because a few weeks ago, this was all I thought about. I was like, oh my god, I can keep working on this thing. And now I'm kind of like, I need to get this out of my CapCut so I can have my storage back, you know? So, I just wanted to do one that was a little bit shorter. So, our final question comes from A New Year of Lying to Myself in Song. And here's the clip, of course.
Anxiety. If you had to have a New Year's resolution, what would it be? Probably to find darker eyeshadow to better match my soul. You...
Okay, so, here are your options. A, you are an emo nightmare. B, you are a huge dork. C, you are trying too hard. Or D, you are just the worst. As always, 5 seconds to consider your answer. And here is the final answer of the evening.
Anxiety. If you had to have a New Year's resolution, what would it be? Probably to find darker eyeshadow to better match my soul. You are an emo nightmare. Thank you.
I'm at a point in this project where I have spent so much time on it and I put so much energy into it that I don't even care anymore. Like, I don't think that's something that usually happens. Like, usually when you put a lot of time and energy into something, you're excited about it, and you feel a sense of purpose about it. But I have genuinely one of the biggest headaches right now, and I've only been working on it today for, like, I don't know, 20 minutes. And I haven't worked on it in weeks because, like, I just got so burnt out of doing, like, so much for it every single day, and it's still not getting close to done, and then it was just the same thing over and over again because this last 30 minutes of the video is just a clip segment. So, I'm over it. I'm still excited about it, but genuinely, I have a migraine right now, and it really hurts, and I just want to get this last little part done. So, yeah. I just, like, I want to delete CapCut after this. It's so annoying. It is the most frustrating app to ever have to work with in a serious capacity. Oh my god. Like, I can't do anything on here. Screw CapCut. Like, CapCut was good when I made that silly little Chosen video, or I made, like, a silly little like, meme video. But if you want to use CapCut as, like, an actual, like, thing for a project that is big like this, it is literally impossible. And the thing is, the only reason why I'm recording this right now is because I was in the middle of finishing up the last, They Said What segment, and I had to, like, make, like, a clip, like, I had to, fill it to the full aspect ratio, and it was just so laggy, and I had to close the app to let it refresh so it wasn't doing that anymore, and I just realized I don't want to be on this app right now, so I got out. Yeah, I'm, like, don't get me wrong, I am upset that, you know, there's a chance that I've been working on this for months and then not that much will come out of it. That is always a fear of mine, because whenever I'm working on something and I get really excited about it and I have these expectations for it, I get so hung up on those expectations and then nothing comes of them. So I'm like, okay, cool. Yeah, like I said, the Chosen video, I had this, like, wild dream that someone from Smosh would see it, and they'd love it, and then I thought the same thing about the drawing I did of Sarah Christ in the Chosen. I was like, Amanda and Shane are gonna see it, and they're gonna love it. And, like, with my drawing of, like, like, Boy Genius, Renee Rapp, like, all my drawings, I'm like, oh my god, they're gonna see it, and they're gonna love it, and then they don't, and they, you know. So, I have this wild fantasy of Thomas Sanders sitting his ass down and watching this entire video, and then commenting on it and loving it. That's not gonna happen. What am I talking about? I made this video for you, Pookie. For you. And as long as you see it, I don't care about these other people. I just think it would be cool if Thomas was here. Hey, buddy. Been watching you since 2019, how's it going? Hey, pal. I'm subbed to your Patreon. What's up? But yeah, oh my god, oh my god. New development. I don't want to post this video. I really don't. Okay, I'm actually kind of annoyed right now. I'm, like, really annoyed, actually, like, very, very annoyed. Not even anything to do with this video. I'm just so upset with myself for, not seeing this sooner. So, obviously, I'm still going to post this video because I put months of effort into it, and I've been hyping it up to you, and, like, who cares? You're only gonna see it. But, I'm so ashamed at the prospect that I will have anything to do with Thomas Sanders, his brand. I'm sorry. I cannot associate with this man after what I found out, and I really can't. I can't. It's terrible. It's, like, it's not even funny. Like, it's not a joke. It's not something I'd ever joke about. So I'm going to just be clear cut, say it. Like, I genuinely will never talk about Sanders again. You'll see this video, never hear from me about it again. I'm done. This is genuinely a deplorable man. His deplorable actions, of course. So instead of me just saying it, I'm going to show you what he did, and I'm going to put a little bit of a disclaimer real quick. It is disturbing. You may not forgive me for ever supporting this man. I'm not kidding. I'm literally not kidding. I swear to God, I'm not kidding. I'm not playing with you. Yeah, so, like I said, disclaimer, this is very disturbing. You know, a little bit of a trigger warning. Middle finger on next slide, lol. Yeah. Okay, I'm sorry, this is all a build-up for a trigger warning, middle finger on next slide, lol. Joke. Let me be clear, Thomas Sanders did not do anything. If he had, I wouldn't have stuck it at the end of the video. Yeah. But, yeah, that's it. Like, I don't know what else to say. Like, I've done everything that I wanted to do. Like, obviously, I definitely missed a few things that I could have thrown into the video. I could have done a little bit more research into some of the topics in the video. I could have, like, tried to articulate myself a little bit better, but I didn't want to do that, so I didn't. And now here we are. This is me saying that this is the end, and you made it. You did it. Yay! You did it! You did it! Oh my god, you did it! Yeah. This is it. I finished the Sanders Sense video.
What is that? I don't know.
Alec, grab it. Grab it.
I'm not gonna grab that.
You grab it.